This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Excellent start. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 5th. I'm Tori here with Jeff and Erica in person. Good to see you both.
Great to see you too.
Through the looking glass. Lovely to see you. Yes.
The audience doesn't know, but Erica sat down like pop professional right in the nick of time.
Just
like you can tell because I'm glowing.
No, you're sparkling. You're sparkling. That's what's happening. All right, folks, we are here 2 days after the election, and as of the time of our taping here, it's not over yet. Both candidates still have a path to the White House, okay? But even if Biden or the president make it to 270 electoral votes, that's the number you want, legal challenges could mean this could take a lot longer to sort out. So already, let's talk about the president's campaign. They've filed lawsuits in 4 different states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and now Nevada. He has also, President Trump, asked for a recount in Wisconsin. Now, a lot of people are angry about the results, okay? Let's take a look at this. Supporters of the president turned out at a polling centers last night. In Detroit, they chanted, "Stop the count," meaning stop counting these ballots, right? But in Arizona, the same Trump supporters, or the same group of ideologies, were shouting, "Where are the votes?" The demonstrators there, some of them armed, ended up forcing the polling stations to actually shut down. I have a strong take on this, but I want to get to what you guys think. Do you think that the lawsuits are going to be a big deal, or they're going to be thrown out because they're somewhat frivolous?
I don't know. I would like to ask you that question. I think you know more about that than we do.
Well, it's interesting because at 1% or less, some states automatically do a recount, right? Like, it's already happening. And recounts often don't really change the results. So you're not going to see majorly, like, unless there's like 300,000 votes coming out of nowhere. So they don't do much. I just wanted to say really quickly to all the elected officials out there who have to put up with this crap. And people yelling, the protesters, they are doing such good work. They are working diligently. They're doing their job. They're maintaining their ordermanship. They're not getting out of there. And I just want to say I really appreciate them doing that, because this is not easy to count ballots in this environment. You could hear them inside. They showed you could ambiently hear them shouting as they counted.
Well, and and then one person actually said, "We just want to watch you count," and it's like, I guess my question is, if you stop the count, then what do we do? Flip a coin? Like, I don't understand. What's the thought process behind stopping the count?
Well, in some cases, Pennsylvania, for instance, they count the absentee ballots last. So some places they want them to stop it, and in some places they want them to continue going because of the order they got the votes in. Because some skew more Democratic and some skew Republican. It's just not democratic at all.
But what is the actual common sense? What is the objective of stopping the count?
So that they don't get the mail-in ballots which are going to skew more Democratic.
So you're basically just saying don't make everyone's voice and vote count.
I think what they're saying is if it's past the election date or time, they don't want those votes to count. Legally, you have to count all the votes, but if they're past the deadline, they're saying don't count those votes specifically. I think that's what that's what they're chanting.
And the strange thing is that mail-in ballots aren't late ballots; they're ballots. They're your vote. You're allowed to count
even
them.
if it's past the deadline. I don't know the answer. I thought if it was past if the polls close.
Oh, so this is just based on preference.
Yeah.
Well, I would prefer for all of this to just end. So if we could get this done really fast, actually not even fast, just effectively and diligently and fairly.
And safely.
What would you say, Tori, if I told you that was peaceful protesting?
First of all, they were allowed to be there. They could assemble. The sheriffs were there. They allowed them to do so. It was only when the armed people started making aggressive comments that they actually escorted the poll workers out. So they were allowed to assemble. No one was shooing them away or putting tear gas in their face. But at some point, you've got to protect the elected officials.
Well, just to be clear, I don't agree with it, right?
Sure, yeah.
You have to let the people do their job. This was worst case scenario. I said this before this all started, the election, until we got the results. Best case scenario is somebody wins by a landslide and we didn't have all these lawsuits, all this going on while people still counted the vote. This is the worst case scenario for America.
But just know that some lawsuits, in case you don't know, can be thrown out if they're not worthy of a recount. In Georgia, they just dismissed a case because they said it doesn't sort of have standing. So that doesn't have to go long and long and long. It can be thrown out the same day. All right. Well, we got a lot of comments from you guys, huh? You're talkers. From viewers yesterday, both about our show and about the election. So we're going to read a few, and respond to you directly. So these first two kind of go together. Rob on Twitter, Trump knows that if the count carries on, he'll lose the presidency by even more. Mike on Twitter, so many irregularities in the voting process. We need to redo the entire election. No mail-in ballots. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Erica, your thoughts on that?
I understand why people as of this year are feeling some type of way about mail-in ballots. But the truth is, many of us have been doing mail-in ballots for quite some time, multiple elections. There have been absolutely no breakdowns in the system. And I've known that my vote was counted for 3 weeks because I did a mail-in ballot. So I think the idea of putting a lot of misinformation and distrust into mail-in ballots is really about stopping or continuing an antiquated process, because eventually we do have to come up with a more modern process for voting.
Interesting. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just going to say, I wonder if our current president had anything to do with that. We don't know numbers at this point, but had he promoted the mail-in voting,
yeah, of course.
In certain states we've had in Colorado, so we know what we're doing. Certain states it's their first time. I get the confusion, I guess. But had he promoted, maybe the overwhelming ballots wouldn't be for one president. I'm trying to do this very obscurely without saying numbers.
You're doing very well.
But you see what I'm saying? I think maybe it might be part of, can't use the word demise either, but you understand what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And just so you know, the president himself uses mail-in ballots for his own vote. So there you go.
It's just ironic.
It is ironic. All right. Well, Frank on Facebook writes, I agree with Jeff's point yesterday. Look at you, Jeff. Just because someone votes for Trump because they think it will be better for their wallet doesn't mean that they also don't value black and brown Americans. You can support Trump and not be racist.
Well, listen, I got to be honest with you, Frank. I didn't sleep well last night because I'm trying to figure out my words on how to support different sides without sounding labeled like a racist, like a homophobe, like all those other things that people just throw in your face on social media. I had an interesting talk with somebody, I won't mention any names, but he said something very great to me. He said, maybe all Trump supporters aren't racist, but I would just say majority of racists are Trump supporters, which I found very intriguing. That might not be true, but it brought a different perspective to me, and I thought maybe bring a different perspective to somebody else out there. Very heady, I guess, in some sort of way, but I'm trying to learn every day from my verbiage, from things I understand people are watching this show. So I'm trying to find the best way to support you guys at home from the other side. It might not necessarily be my own, but I want your voice to be heard. So I'm trying my best without trying to offend anybody.
I know we're out of time, but I have to say this because I think it's important, and I appreciate your position. I want to say that because we know each other. We are friends.
Right.
I know who you are, okay? So when we're talking about these conversations, you also have a responsibility to have this conversation in a way that we're supposed to be reflecting America as if America was actually doing something that was bringing people together in discourse. Another way to think about this is a lot of people feel that you may not be racist, but racism isn't a deal breaker for you.
Right, it's okay.
And that's a part of the conversation too. But if we don't have these conversations, if we don't get uncomfortable, then we're not truly making any progress. So I just want to say that because I think it's very important.
I appreciate
that. And thank you for saying that because I think it's I know we're out of time. We can talk all night about this, but this is what America should be, this conversation.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Nancy Grace is busier than ever on TV and radio. She also has a new book about fighting back against crime. Earlier, I spoke with Nancy about cases that have captured the nation's attention, like Breonna Taylor. That's in today's Chatting with the Stars. Welcome, Nancy Grace, to Daily Blast Live. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Your new book, titled Don't Be a Victim, is a call to action for people to take protection into their own hands. And in it, you write, crime is evolving, and we have to evolve along with it. Talk to me about what that means. How is crime evolving?
Wow, it really is. It took me 2 years to research and write Don't Be a Victim. All my proceeds, 100%, going to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I started writing this book, as I said, 2 years ago, and it's based on every case I ever investigated, personally took to trial, or covered. Not just a retelling of the stories, but to cull from them what, if anything, we can learn. And it's not meant to scare anyone. It is meant to empower the readers at a time where so many of us are feeling helpless, like there's nothing we can do to affect change around us. That's not true. There are ways to fight back against crime.
I totally agree with you, but let me talk to you about when the crime is committed by law enforcement, okay? We're gonna get into this Breonna Taylor situation. After the ruling in the case, in the grand jury case, where only one officer was indicted for wanton endangerment. Nancy, there was a lot of public outrage and pain from people who felt like victims and people who believe the grand jury didn't go far enough or had enough information. You have been in front of grand juries. Walk the DBL Nation and me through that and how you think that decision was made. It's a very pro-prosecutor situation. There's not even really a defense attorney there, am I right?
Well, of course there's not a defense attorney there because this is not a petit jury, which is a jury of 12 or in some jurisdictions 6. This is a grand jury because the size is grand. It's 30 to 40 or more people taken from the voter registration. So what they do is very simply determine, is there enough evidence to bring a charge to send to a petite or petit jury to determine guilt or innocence. So this is not the time for the defense to be heard. This is a bare bones hearing to say, is there enough evidence to try this case and let a jury decide, or is there no evidence and we'll no-bill it, we'll kick it out. So don't blame the grand jury right off the bat.
But let's talk about that raid. Nancy, there's activists calling for no-knock warrants to be banned, unconstitutional, against the Fourth Amendment, right? And some local lawmakers are trying to make that a reality. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, first of all, they're not unconstitutional. Bam! There, I can drop the knife right there. Imagine this. Let's go with a 5-year-old little girl out on the playground. Mommy goes to the minivan to get a cold water, comes back, baby girl gone. Turns out she has been snatched by a child sex predator, a registered sex offender. He's immediately traced because of video surveillance there at the playground to his apartment where he's holed up with a 5-year-old girl. What do you think we should do? Have the cop go to the door and go, hello, we'd like to come in for a cup of tea and talk about this little girl we think you snatched. H-E-double-L, no. You yell police and you bust in there and save the girl. I'm telling you why we cannot do away with no-knock provisions. Now, did the cops in the Breonna Taylor function appropriately? I don't know that, but getting rid of the no-knock is absurd. That's throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So whoever's screaming that needs to go and read the law books and find out why we have no-knock provisions.
We're not done with Nancy Grace yet. Tomorrow, Nancy weighs in on the defund the police movement, plus what Nancy would have done differently in the courtroom in George Floyd's case.
When you commit a crime, whether you're wearing a badge or not, you have a date with Lady Justice and go in front of a jury.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
It's only a matter of
Welcome back to DBL. They say clothes make the man, but for Mark Bryan, they don't make the gender. His skirt and heels combo are making him a hit on Instagram, and I got to catch up with him earlier in today's DBL Spotlight. Mark Bryan, welcome to DBL. Thank you for taking the time. Do you mind just standing up and showing us your outfit right now of the day, what you're choosing to wear today? Let's see. Let's see. We got the manly black and then the ooh-hoo! Yes. When did skirts and heels become a staple in your daily wardrobe, and why?
I've been wearing heels for the long time.
Right.
I mean, for almost off and on for about 40 years. And then joking with my colleagues and stuff like that, you know, said eventually I'm going to wear a skirt. And tried on the skirt one time, and I go, wow, I don't look too bad.
And it's sort of become like a uniform, the skirt and the dress shirt combo. Is that significant to you, those two together? It's sort of like a superhero combo, or you just like the look of it aesthetically?
I don't know about superhero. It's just kind of my adapted style. I want to kind of, you know, maintain wearing men's shirts, but wearing women's skirts and heels, just to kind of keep what I call like a hybrid style. My big thing is to promote non-gendered clothing, and also that clothes should not dictate a person's sexual orientation.
Absolutely. Is it a statement? Is it empowering? Or do you just kind of engineering mind like the aesthetic and the lines that the clothes make for you?
I like the aesthetics and the lines. When I started wearing skirts and shoes, I just had so much different options to wear, and that's something I really enjoyed. I'm not a big fashion nerd, but
Right.
it actually kind of broke the monotony that I've had over like the last 30 years.
What do your kids think of this?
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, everyone's been saying, you know, a father of three. I'm a father of three, but my kids are between the ages of like 41 and 33. You know, they haven't been at home for quite a while now. So my daughter's always, you know, she'll see me post a picture on Instagram or something, and you know she'll say, "Dad, I want to borrow your shoes." So
You do have some good shoes on Instagram. I'm not going to lie. You have some really good shoes. Now, a lot of women talking about heels think you're nuts for opting out to wear these uncomfortable heels all day. I wear Uggs constantly, which is super unattractive, as my husband says. What do you want to say directly to those who might object about the heels? Do you find them comfortable and sort of powerful? How do you feel?
I don't find them comfortable, but I've found that if I buy a good quality shoe and find a shoe that fits well, I'll go over comfort more than style. If I know I'm going to have to do a lot of walking during the day at work, I won't wear my 5-inch stilettos. I'll wear like a 3.5-inch or a 4-inch heel instead.
We do have to ask you, when we first featured your story on the show, Jeff, my co-host, he got a little jealous and competitive of your calves because you have fabulous calves.
That man is in shape and he looks good.
He looks dang good.
He looks good. He's got good legs. I don't like to brag, but I do have excellent
You really
calves.
do. I just wanted you to rate Jeff's calves from 1 to 10. Do you think he could rock the high heel and skirt?
Check that out.
Okay, you don't need to flex.
Well, I'm not. That's just how they look.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not wearing a skirt and high heels right now.
It's a fair comment. Totally fair comment. He looks great.
I mean, he sits behind a desk all day. You know, he's TV above the waist. He could be underneath that desk right now wearing his skirt and high heels, and nobody would ever know.
I think he should show it off, and we completely agree. What a cool, awesome engineering mind you are, and I'm just so excited to have spoken to you. Thank you so much for chatting and stopping by and explaining things to people so people can understand and learn. We'll be right back. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
to DBL earlier, Steph showed me some amazing deals at some better prices. Here's this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com. What do you have for us today, Steph, right across from me?
This Sultra limited edition 2-inch professional blowout. The unique design combines the powerful airflow of a dryer with the smoothing and volumizing benefits of a round brush. So usually this is $150, but we've got it for $39, saving 74%.
Steph, that's fantastic.
Okay, next up, this is the L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Anti-Wrinkle and Firming 3-piece skincare set. So it includes firming and anti-wrinkle day cream, eye cream, and night cream.
Bravo.
So it's the perfect set for everyday use to combat aging. Normally, this set is $54.
It's expensive.
We've got it for $25, Tori, saving our viewers 54%. Tori, this one, I find keeping my fridge like really hard to keep it tidy.
Yeah.
So this is a 10-pack Heidi and Oak fridge mat that help me keep things a bit organized.
Okay.
So they're colorful, so you can put them in your refrigerator and help keep it clean from drips and messes. So normally they're $40. But we've got them for $15, which means you're saving 62%.
And you get a 10-pack.
And then last but not least, this is the Odyssey Mind and Body Motion Activated Sanitizer and Soap Dispenser.
I love that.
So normally this is $50, but we've got it, are you ready?
Yeah.
For $19, saving 62%.
Head on over, everyone, to morningsave.com to snag all these amazing deals that Steph showed us at the lowest prices. Seriously, you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. It's easy. Steph, it is so good to see your face and to be in the studio with you. Thank you so much. All right, just want to say great combo, guys. Thank you for that conversation. It was beautiful. DBL, we're new every day. Tune in for more of this. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
It's not over yet as President Trump and Joe Biden race to reach 270 electoral votes. But how long will this go on? Nancy Grace doesn't hold back one bit. Bam! You don't want to miss her passionate take on the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases. From infidelity to sex addiction, Jana Kramer and Mike Costin reveal why they're choosing to fight through their marriage struggles.
It's hard when you're living with an addict.
And a straight married man challenging gender norms. How he's working to prove skirts and heels aren't just for women.
She'll say, Dad, I want to borrow your shoes. So.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 5th. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Tori joining us from home. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Well, here we are, 2 days after the election, and as of the time of our taping, it is not over yet. Both candidates still have a path to reach the White House, but even if Biden or the president make it to 270 electoral votes, legal challenges could mean this will take a lot longer to sort out. So already the president's campaign has filed lawsuits in 4 states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and now Nevada. He also asked for a recount in Wisconsin. So a lot of people, in fact, a lot of our viewers have written in, they're angry about the results. In fact, supporters of the president turned out at a polling center last night, as you can see, that was in Detroit, and they chanted, "Stop the count." But then on the flip side in Arizona, they shouted, count the vote. So the demonstrators there, some armed, ended up forcing the polling station to shut down. Now, I just got this bit of information that just came in per this taping, that a judge in Michigan threw out that lawsuit pertaining to President Trump and his administration and Michigan. So Tori, again, you are our DC insider. You live and breathe elections and politics. How are you feeling right now? How long will this go on, in your opinion?
All right, so I think the longest it could go is maybe Sunday, and that's looking at Nevada and Clark County especially. They're taking a pretty long time to count those ballots, and it is razor thin. I'm talking, Sam, 12,000 votes between the two candidates. But I'm feeling okay. You know why? Because our local elected officials and our poll workers are doing their job. They're sitting there calmly. They're counting the ballots that they're supposed to be doing amongst all of this loud noise that they really shouldn't have to get through. I really want to thank them, because those are the people that are actually making this work. Now, as for the lawsuits, first of all, recounts happen automatically if you get to about 1% in certain states. But lawsuits can be thrown out. Like you just said, in Michigan, it was just thrown out. And in Georgia, a judge recently this morning threw out another lawsuit. So they don't always have to take long periods of time. They can be thrown out that day.
Listen, I kind of saw this coming, right? With all the mail-in vote-ins. I know it's not new here in Colorado where we film, but some states are new and it could be a problem or difficult to count all the votes. So I kind of had this in mind. I thought it might take a couple days. People need to be patient, right? They need to let whoever counts the votes count their votes uninterrupted. I don't think anyone wants a Cuban government from the 80s that's corrupt. This is America. We don't want that. We want the best. We want fairness. Whoever's going to win the election is going to win the election. We have to be patient and let people do their jobs uninterrupted.
And I would also add to that, and then Erica jump in, not only be patient, but we really need to be hyper vigilant when it comes to misinformation. I just want to make it crystal clear that the organizations that do handle those mail-in ballots and voting in general, they have announced time and time again today, as well as over the past 3 decades, that voter fraud is not a thing. It's like 0.00004%. Somebody please in the booth give me the exact statistic of voter fraud, and that includes mail-in ballots as well. Many states, the United States military, our very own president, all partake in mail-in ballots. So let's have faith in our democracy and let's be patient.
Yeah, I think that you really are hitting the nail on the head. It's about the wanton or willful disinformation or misinformation that's out there, because the truth is, states like the state that we reside in, Colorado, we have been doing mail-in ballots for quite some time. We had no issues because we have the system down. When you start to say or put in skepticism about the legitimacy of mail-in ballots, that's why we're here now. But the idea of just stopping the count just because you want the count to be stopped is ridiculous. What is the next step after that?
Right, that's not a democracy. And I just got word from our booth, and we're going to move on. It's 0.0025% rate of any possible fraud. So that is almost slim to none. Let's remember that as Americans, and let's hold faith.
And
okay,
by the way, Sam,
yes.
quickly, I think I said Cuba, I meant Colombia.
Got
if
it.
that matters to
That's good.
anybody out there.
Clarify.
I just thought about it in my head.
Thank you.
Pablo Escobar, you know
I
the
was
whole deal.
wondering.
Oh, were you? I knew
course
somebody
he
caught
was.
it, and I was like in my head, I was like, somebody caught that.
Let's get, of course Tori did. Let's get to some comments because we have gotten so many comments from our viewers yesterday and also today, both about our show and also about the election and the uncertainty that you're all feeling. So we're going to read a few and then respond to you directly. These first two kind of go together, so I'm going to read them back to back. Rob says on Twitter, Trump knows that if the count carries on, he'll lose the presidency by even more. Mike on Twitter, so many irregularities in the voting process. We need to redo the entire election. No mail-in ballots. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Tori, have at it.
I just can't. All of this is sort of made up. All of this is a story. And Sam, you said it great, and you brought in the number .000025. The great people of our country do wonderfully. Our state elected officials, our attorney generals in our states, our poll workers, our volunteers. None of this is true. This is a made-up story that came out in this election and this election only. No one else is worried about mail-in ballots for years. And may I remind you, our own president mails in his vote.
Thank you, Tori. Frank on Facebook says, I agree with Jeff's point yesterday. Just because someone votes for Trump because they think it will be better for their wallet does not mean that they also do not value black and brown Americans. You can support Trump and not be a racist.
Yeah, Sam, I believe I said this on a different show, but the point was I was saying all people who vote for Trump are not racist, right? I've had this conversation with friends. We've had it in here, and I don't necessarily believe with everything in both sides of the party. I am a moderate at heart. That's how I live on and off camera. But I want to support people. I have to be careful with my words here. I want to give the people at home who believe in one side or the other a voice, right? I want to protect them. So I still think all people who vote for Trump are not racists. But I did have a conversation off camera with a friend of mine. I don't want to point him out, but I just pointed him out literally. We were talking, and it was kind of a light bulb moment for me. And he's like, I agree with you there. But I think that all racists are Trump supporters. So it kind of like gave me a light bulb moment. And I want to choose my words very carefully here because I am an ally to everyone. Even if you look at me and want to paint me with this broad brush that I'm a handsome, intelligent man. I'm trying to keep it light here. I'm trying to keep it very light. But, in a serious note, I don't want to be painted with that brush when I'm trying to represent a side that's not represented on our show.
Well, I think that, first of all, Jeff, I know who you are. We have been working together for years, and I know that that's not who you are. I think that you are in a very tricky position, and I do not envy it. I absolutely have worked with people who maliciously believed that my oppression was a part of their greatness, and that is not who you are. We were brought here on this show in order to represent America having discourse civilly. And that was the genesis of this show over 3 years ago. And so the idea that we have diversity of people, diversity of thought, diversity of opinion is very important because regardless of how big the scale is, there needs to be some type of representation in order to facilitate these conversations. And that's what we're doing here. So I think that that is very important. I know that a lot of people have just met us and just found the show, and they don't have any idea of who we are and what we do, but I think that it should be very clear about who we are and what we do.
And I think it's really, we had this last comment even says, this is from Shelley, I love how all the DBL hosts have their own different opinions, but everybody gets along and lets everyone have their opinion. That's what this world needs. That comment is so vital, not only to this panel, because if you can have conversation, you can grow and you can evolve and you can be empathetic. But I've been reading your comments for the last couple days, and I know I just have a few seconds, but I really want to acknowledge this. Many of our viewers have written in that their interpersonal relationships have been shattered because of this election, whether it be your parents, whether it be your colleagues, whether it be your friends, and you guys are struggling. And I just want to let those viewers know that I've read those comments, we've read those comments, you are not alone. Of course, I can't fix it, none of us can. I can't offer any advice except for the fact that you're not alone. And I hope that gives you some sort of comfort, and I hope that we can all have faith, blind faith, even if that's a thing, that we will at some point as Americans, I pray, correct this and somehow unify again, because the stories that I'm reading are absolutely heartbreaking, and do know that we see you and we hear you. Tori, stick around. Coming up next, Nancy Grace brings her fiery legal perspective to DBL. She's tackling the biggest cases of the day, including Breonna Taylor and the controversy over no-knock warrants. Plus, he says he's a normal, happily married straight guy, so why does he prefer to wear skirts and heels? We'll find out when we chat with this new Instagram sensation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Nancy Grace is busier than ever on TV and radio. She also has a new book about fighting back against crime. Earlier, Tori spoke with Nancy about cases that have captured the nation's attention, like Breonna Taylor. That's in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Welcome, Nancy Grace, to Daily Blast Live. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Your new book, titled Don't Be a Victim, is a call to action for people to take protection into their own hands. And in it, you write crime is evolving, and we have to evolve along with it. Talk to me about what that means. How is crime evolving?
Wow, it really is. It took me 2 years to research and write Don't Be a Victim. All my proceeds, 100%, going to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I started writing this book, as I said, 2 years ago, and it's based on every case I ever investigated, personally took to trial, or covered. Not just a retelling of the stories, but to cull from them what, if anything, we can learn. And it's not meant to scare anyone. It is meant to empower the readers at a time where so many of us are feeling helpless, like there's nothing we can do to affect change around us. That's not true. There are ways to fight back against crime.
I totally agree with you, but let me talk to you about when the crime is committed by law enforcement, okay? We're gonna get into this Breonna Taylor situation. After the ruling in the case, in the grand jury case, where only one officer was indicted for wanton endangerment. Nancy, there was a lot of public outrage and pain from people who felt like victims and people who believe the grand jury didn't go far enough or had enough information. You have been in front of grand juries. Walk the DBL Nation and me through that and how you think that decision was made. It's a very pro-prosecutor situation. There's not even really a defense attorney there, am I right?
Well, of course there's not a defense attorney there because this is not a petit jury, which is a jury of 12 or in some jurisdictions 6. This is a grand jury because the size is grand. It's 30 to 40 or more people taken from the voter registration. So what they do is very simply determine, is there enough evidence to bring a charge to send to a petite or petit jury to determine guilt or innocence. So this is not the time for the defense to be heard. This is a bare bones hearing to say, is there enough evidence to try this case and let a jury decide? Or is there no evidence and we'll no-bill it, we'll kick it out? So don't blame the grand jury right off the bat.
But let's talk about that raid. Nancy, there's activists calling for no-knock warrants to be banned, unconstitutional, against the 4th Amendment, right? And some local lawmakers are trying to make that a reality. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, first of all, they're not unconstitutional. Bam! There, I can drop the knife right there. Imagine this. Let's go with a 5-year-old little girl out on the playground. Mommy goes to the minivan to get a cold water, comes back, baby girl gone. Turns out she has been snatched by a child sex predator, a registered sex offender. He's immediately traced because of video surveillance there at the playground to his apartment where he's holed up with a 5-year-old girl. What do you think we should do? Have the cop go to the door and go, hello, we'd like to come in for a cup of tea and talk about this little girl we think you snatched. HELL, no. You yell police and you bust in there and save the girl. I'm telling you why we cannot do away with no-knock provisions. Now, did the cops in the Breonna Taylor function appropriately? I don't know that, but getting rid of the no-knock is absurd. That's throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So whoever's screaming that needs to go and read the law books and find out why we have no-knock provisions.
We're not done with Nancy Grace yet. Tomorrow, Nancy weighs in on the defund the police movement, plus what Nancy would have done differently in the courtroom in George Floyd's case.
When you commit a crime, whether you're wearing a badge or not, you have a date with Lady Justice and go in front of a jury.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
It's all.
Welcome back to DBL. They say clothes make the man, but for Mark Bryan, they don't make the gender. His skirt and heels combo are making him a huge hit on Instagram. Tori caught up with him earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
Mark Bryan, welcome to DBL. Thank you for taking the time. Do you mind just standing up and showing us your outfit right now of the day? What you're choosing to wear today? Let's see. Let's see. We got the manly black and then the ooh-hoo! Yes. When did skirts and heels become a staple in your daily wardrobe, and why?
I've been wearing heels for the long time.
Right.
I mean, for almost off and on for about 40 years. And then joking with my colleagues and stuff like that, I said eventually I'm going to wear a skirt. And tried on the skirt one time, and I go, wow, I don't look too bad.
And it's sort of become like a uniform, the skirt and the dress shirt combo. Is that significant to you, those two together, as sort of like a superhero combo, or you just like the look of it aesthetically?
I don't know about superhero. It's just kind of my adapted style. I want to kind of, maintain wearing men's shirts, but wearing women's skirts and heels, just to kind of keep what I call like a hybrid style. My big thing is to promote non-gendered clothing, and also that clothes should not dictate a person's sexual orientation.
Absolutely. Is it a statement? Is it empowering? Or do you just kind of engineering mind like the aesthetic and the lines that the clothes make for you?
I like the aesthetics and the lines. When I started wearing skirts and shoes, I just had so much different options to wear, and that's something I really enjoyed. I'm not a big fashion nerd, but
right.
it actually kind of broke the monotony that I've had over like the last 30 years.
What do your kids think of this?
Well, it's funny because everyone's been saying a father of three. I'm a father of three, but my kids are between the ages of like 41 and 33. They haven't been at home for quite a while now. So my daughter's always, she'll see me post a picture on Instagram or something, and she'll say, "Dad, I want to borrow your shoes." So
you do have some good shoes on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, you have some really good shoes.
Oh.
Now, a lot of women talking about heels think you're nuts for opting out to wear these uncomfortable heels all day. I wear Uggs constantly, which is super unattractive, as my husband says. What do you want to say directly to those who might object about the heels? Do you find them comfortable and sort of powerful? How do you feel?
I don't find them comfortable, but I've found that if I buy a good quality shoe and find a shoe that fits well, I'll go over comfort more than style. If I know I'm going to have to do a lot of walking during the day at work, I won't wear my 5-inch stilettos. I'll wear like a 3.5-inch or a 4-inch heel instead.
We do have to ask you, when we first featured your story on the show, Jeff, my co-host, he got a little jealous and competitive of your calves because you have fabulous calves.
That man is in shape and he looks good.
He looks dang good.
He looks good. He's got good legs. I don't like to brag, but I do have excellent
You really
calves.
do.
I just wanted you to rate Jeff's calves from 1 to 10. Do you think he could rock the high heel and skirt?
Check that out.
Okay, you don't need to flex.
Well, I'm not. That's just how they look.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not wearing a skirt and high heels right now.
It's a fair comment. Totally fair comment. He looks great.
I mean, he sits behind a desk all day. He's TV above the waist. He could be underneath that desk right now wearing his skirt and high heels, and nobody would ever know.
I think he should show it off, and we completely agree. What a cool, awesome engineering mind you are, and I'm just so excited to have spoken to you. Thank you so much for chatting and stopping by and explaining things to people so people can understand and learn. We'll be right back. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
that at DBL.
We get to tell it like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now. We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real. That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
And we have a great month of November for you, so do not miss a day. And if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Britney Spears makes another power play to take control of her life, and Michael J. Fox gets real about the darkest moment in his life. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Eric and Jeff. Miss Tori joining us from home. Let's get started, everybody. Michael J. Fox, well, we all love him. Well, he's opening up about what he calls the darkest moment in his life. So speaking to People magazine, the actor who has Parkinson's disease says he struggled to put on a shiny, happy face after he had surgery to remove a spinal tumor, and then he fell and broke his arm. He was alone and says while he was waiting for the ambulance, he felt like this is as low as it gets. So eventually, Michael realized that optimism is rooted in gratitude and acceptance and was able to move past the dark time. Michael also credits his wife of 32 years, Tracy, for that optimism. He says they laugh for a good 2 minutes about something every day. I love that. This makes me think of you, Jeff, because you try to always focus on the positive. Clearly, we know Michael J. Fox has been through a lot, but speak to us about gratitude.
Well, I mean, I was thinking of Erica Cobb, funnily enough. I think we have the same philosophy about that. But, you know, Michael J. Fox is going through something that hopefully I don't even fathom in my lifetime. Not saying you know what I mean by that. But you have to find gratitude and optimism no matter what you're going through. But Michael J. Fox is an example of that. People struggle all the time. They go through terrible, terrible things, but you have to find gratitude. You have to find optimism. And for Michael J. Fox being in the condition that he is, to laugh with his wife and make that part of his day, which they met on Family Ties Throwback, great show, is what it's all about, right?
Yeah, I appreciate anytime we get the, true gift of hearing from Michael J. Fox, because he is such an icon. He is a legend. And he's also someone who has been very public about his struggles and bouts with disabilities. Parkinson's has completely taken over his life to the point that he's talked about the idea of losing his memory and not being able to remember the lines as much. So it's affecting his acting career as well in a greater capacity. The idea of gratitude is so important. And, Jeff and I talk about this a lot, because if you can't be grateful for what you have, you'll never be grateful for what you may get in the future. So I think that that's always a great exercise. And honestly, there's this thing on YouTube, I'm sure you've seen it, but it's Denzel Washington talking about as soon as you wake up in the morning, you should say exactly what you're grateful for, so you always remember to be grateful. And it works. It works, people. I'm just telling you.
I love it. And Tori, you've always, yesterday, Al and Jeff gave you some flack for your incredible Buddhism speak, I should say. But I think it's important, because Buddhism, what you've taught me, Tori, is acceptance and ownership. And Michael J. Fox said the one thing that really helped him get through it, besides gratitude, was acceptance and ownership, meaning look what he's done for Parkinson's research. His foundation has raised nearly $1 billion to Parkinson's, to help benefit Parkinson's disease and the research that funds it. Tori, that's exactly what you were speaking to yesterday, that you were made fun of for.
Yeah, I think, and I was mocked. No, I think Michael J. Fox single-handedly is moving towards a Parkinson's cure more than any other human being ever has. It's unbelievable what he's done. But what I think he's understanding is, in life, it's okay to understand that things are gonna go bad. You are going to suffer at some point, because the more you push that away, when it hits, you're overwhelmed. So he seems to be accepting the suffering, laughing with the suffering, feeling grateful with the suffering, and my God, that's the way out of the hole. That's the way out of depression.
Amen. Okay, so Britney Spears is asking a judge to completely remove her dad as her legal co-conservator. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Britney claims her dad hired a new business manager without consulting her after her old one quit. Britney claims the new manager also has ties to her dad's legal team. She wants her current trust company to look after her finances and her dad to be completely out of the picture. Despite all her legal troubles, Britney recently posted this message to her fans on Instagram. Watch.
Hi, so I know that there have been a lot of comments and a lot of people saying a lot of different things about me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am fine. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm sending all of you guys a lot of prayers, wishes, and a lot of love.
Oh, I have so many feelings about this. The Free Britney movement has been a hashtag, Erica, as well, that has trended, people advocating for Britney Spears because she feels her fan base feels that she's been taken advantage of by her father. Now, these are all allegations, but we know that conservatorship abuse does exist, and there have been many, many victims of this. Putting that aside, I hope Britney's well, because I'm just going to be honest here, and this is somebody that's also suffered from mental health issues. Every video she posts, she does not seem well to me.
I can understand that feeling, Sam. I feel like I've been talking about Britney Spears since, her early days in music, because coming from a radio background, that was my relationship with her career. I am really at a point, and have been since probably 2013, that it's almost too violating to even have this conversation with someone who clearly is struggling with so many things. Like, I don't find it entertaining. I find it incredibly, it's tragic. The whole thing is very tragic.
But may it be, I agree with you, but may it be educational, because a lot of people don't know that conservatorship abuse exists.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying this is the case in Britney Spears, but the more you unravel it, this is just my opinion only, it does seem like that's the case with Britney Spears. So if no one's going to advocate for her, thank God she has that Britney Spears movement, Free Britney, because this is somebody who, in my opinion, is suffering, and she needs all the help she can get. She does not want to be conservatorship free, I should say. She just does not want her father being the conservator, and she wants the current trust company to be her conservator.
Listen, I don't know what to say here, because like Erica said, I think it's a little deeper and darker than what we look at, like social media wise. I'm not saying her father is even the problem here. I don't even know if he's the problem. Is there something wrong with Britney? We're not clinicians. We don't know. I do know that when I look at it with my eyes, and my wife shows me, like, look at Britney Spears, something's wrong. I don't see something in her eyes. And again, I could be totally off. I'm not a clinician, like I said, but something doesn't seem right there. So I don't know if the father's wrong here. I don't know if something people need to keep an eye on Brittany, but it's not something that I'm laughing at or entertained by.
We wish Brittany all the best and just hope that she gets the justice that she is seeking. So given the current political climate, we could all definitely use a laugh, am I right? So Jimmy Kimmel invited some politicians to read mean tweets about themselves. Enjoy.
Bernie Sanders seems like the type of guy who'd return a single piece of fruit to Walmart and hold up the line for an hour. Well, not quite, but I do hope that the workers in Walmart can eventually earn a living wage with decent benefits.
Elizabeth Warren is what happens when Jan Brady grows up.
If Templeton the rat from Charlotte's Web had a successful rat cousin he hated for being an unctuous slime ball, it would be Ted Cruz.
Oh my gosh, Tori, what do you think of politicians poking fun at themselves?
Okay, so I've always thought this was the best thing that Obama did during his campaign. He did mean tweets, and it just made him so relatable. Whenever you can poke fun of yourself, why do you think I love it? Because it makes you relatable. Now, here's the one thing with President Trump. There isn't a ton of humor with him. He doesn't mock himself, and if he did, let's say, hit an appearance on SNL or read a mean tweet, there's be so much love for that and sort of so much like now he sees it, but there just is a disconnect. So I love when Ted Cruz calls himself a rat because he knows it's funny and it's okay, and it just makes everybody more relatable.
Listen, if you want a good laugh, watch Larry David read mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel. He cracks up the whole time through it. I mean, I follow like Curb Your Enthusiasm on my Instagram, and it just makes me laugh. Like I go on social media, I'm like, I'm gonna regret this, and then I see like Larry David cracking his way up through a mean tweet, and then, I'm telling you, look it up, it'll put a smile on your face.
I want to see Bernie Sanders and Larry David.
That's what reminded me of it. When I saw Bernie, I'm like, Larry's are the best.
So good. Coming up on DBL, surviving sex addiction. Jenna Kramer and Mike Cosson have been through hell and back in their marriage, but we ask them how they got through it next.
Closed caption.
Welcome back to DBL. You know, Pat Benatar was on to something when she said, love is a battlefield. There might not be a couple that knows that better than Jana Kramer and Mike Cosson. Their relationship scandals have made headlines, but earlier they told me they're ready to use the bad for the good. Check it out.
She was a rising star in Hollywood and Nashville. He was a professional football player. When they met, their romance moved fast. From engagement to marriage to expecting their first child, all within a year. But with the highs came lows. A cheating scandal split the couple apart. But Jana returned to Mike's side when he later admitted to having a sex addiction. Now, the couple says they're stronger than ever with 2 kids and is passing on their learned life lessons to other couples in a new book, The Good Fight.
Welcome, Jana and Mike, to Daily Blast Live.
Hey, Erica, thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for being here. And we're going to jump right in because every couple has their own dirty laundry, but not every couple reveals theirs in a book. So what do you say to the people who believe relationship issues maybe should stay in the bedroom?
I mean, I definitely think, there's some truth to that. There's certain things that we don't tell our friends, but I also think being open and vulnerable with your friends is sometimes can really help a relationship. I know a lot of times couples that we've known and friends that we've had, like once they've expressed kind of their issues, it doesn't hold as much weight for them and they might have a better relationship. So I think sometimes sharing is actually a really healthy thing for the relationship.
You know, Mike, you've done more than just control the narrative. You've been very open about your addiction issues. And most of the time when someone is open about something like addiction that they're battling, people applaud them for their transparency because they're helping other people who might be going through it. But when we talk about sex addiction, many people are still coming around to the understanding that it is in fact a real addiction. So how do you deal with people who don't believe it's a real condition?
That's a great question. And it's unfortunate because I do feel that way at times where, if I was in AA or, in 12-step program for drugs or anything else, you get a little bit more pat on the back and empathy and support in the fact that my addiction isn't socially accepted yet. And society is about 10 to 15 years behind, the ball on that. There's a lot more shame involved in it. And, I have my moments where I might feel uncomfortable in a moment because maybe someone's judging me a little bit more because they don't believe in sex addiction or think it's a married man's excuse and all of this. But you know what? It's my truth. It's the life that I live, and that's all that matters to me. And fortunately, over time, I've been able to get more comfortable with that. And I have an amazing wife that supports me. So that's really all that matters to me.
Okay, so let's dive more into the book. Now, you share the advice to, quote, claim your baggage. And sometimes that baggage is infidelity. So when a relationship is built on trust and that trust is broken, is it possible to fully trust that person again?
It's hard when you're living with an addict. Do I trust Michael today? Yeah, I do. He's showing up today as a husband. He's shown up as a father today. The problem with our relationship is like every time you start to trust, something would happen, and then it's just you can never hold on to anything. So now if we get a couple good years in us where we feel like, okay, like he's been straight and we've been good, then I can be like, okay, I can trust this a little bit more. But I think it just takes time, and it takes a lot of goodwill and a lot of love in the bank.
Well, I appreciate the love in the bank thing because really you're talking about your baggage and bringing it up in a relationship. And do you think that it's important that you have certain amounts of deposits of love in the bank before you start bringing up your baggage? Or do you think that it's something that should be brought up maybe before, all of those deposits are made?
Even when I met him, I was like, look, I've been married 2 times before. I have daddy issues. I've got this, I've got that. And I'm like, you kind of take it or you leave it. Like, I want a kid. I want to get married.
Right.
Maybe I was a little, but it worked in the beginning.
Yeah, she got it.
But I don't know.
I think it depends on what age you're at and level of maturity.
Right. Well, I mean, Jana, to be honest, I am a lot like you in terms of I just put it all out there like, listen, this is it. I'm remarried. I told my now husband that, listen, I'm a divorcee. I have these issues, blah, blah, blah. Like, basically, this is what it is. I was very transparent in the beginning. And, you know, I do believe that helped at least manage expectations of who we were and what we were both bringing to the table. Well, I thank you and Mike because I really do appreciate your honesty and transparency. I know that you are helping other people get through and make their relationships better. Their best-selling book, The Good Fight, is on bookstore shelves now. And if you need more Mike and Jana in your life, you can also check out their award-winning podcast, Wind Down. We will be right back.
Thanks, girl.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for some sweet, sweet deals. Earlier, Steph showed Tori some amazing deals at even better prices. So here is this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
We are together in the studio. Look at us. What do you have for us today, Steph, right across from me?
So, Tori, I'm super excited to be back, but I'm here with some awesome products and deals that you guys are going to love. So, come with me. Ooh. If you like salon quality hair treatments, then this Sultra limited edition 2-inch professional blowout brush is exactly what you need. Look at this, it's amazing.
Ooh.
The unique design combines the powerful airflow of a dryer with the smoothing and volumizing benefits of a round brush, so it'll dry, smooth, and style your hair up to 50% faster than your normal routine. And the best bit is it comes with this technology that protects your hair from any heat damage, so that's awesome. So usually this is $150, which is pretty spenny, but we've got it for $39, saving 74%.
Steph, that's fantastic. Also, it leaves me more time to eat my breakfast burrito in the morning because usually I'm doing this for an hour. So fabulous.
I know, I love it, right? Okay, next up, I've got something that will keep your skin looking flawless. So this is the L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Anti-Wrinkle and Firming 3-piece skincare set. So it includes a firming and anti-wrinkle day cream, eye cream, and night cream.
Bravo.
So it's the perfect set for everyday use to combat aging. So you guys will see firmer skin in 4 weeks, and it reduces dark circles. It's dermatologist tested, fragrance-free, and suitable for sensitive skin. Very important. So normally this set is $54.
Expensive.
We've got it for $25, Tori, saving our viewers 54%.
Saving your skin and your wallet. What? That's really good. And that stuff works. I'm getting that. That's
Love it.
Amazing.
Tori, this one. I find keeping my fridge like really hard to keep it tidy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you do too.
Yeah.
But I do. So this is a 10-pack Heidi and Oak fridge mat that help me keep things a bit organized.
Okay.
So they're colorful, so you can put them in your refrigerator and help keep it clean from drips and messes. And they're non-slip, non-stick, and lightweight, so they can even be cut to fit any size fridge or anywhere. Love that. So normally they're $40, but we've got them for $15, which means you're saving 62%.
That's and you get a 10-pack.
I like the pink one.
Of course you do. I love that you love that one.
And then last but not least, I've got something that's going to help you stay clean and disinfected in your home. So this is the Odyssey Mind and Body Motion Activated Sanitizer and Soap Dispenser.
I love that.
So, I mean, it's super sleek, let's be honest. It's very modern, and it's going to increase sanitation in your home, so I love it. It holds 17 ounces of your favorite soap, lotion, or sanitizer, and it's got this really funky stainless chrome finish, so it's going to look amazing in any kitchen or any bathroom. So normally this is $50, but we've got it, are you ready?
Yeah.
For $19, so 62%.
Oh, that is fantastic.
It's stealing, Tori, it's stealing.
Stainless steel, stealing that. And in coronavirus times, let's all be honest, that's all we need all over our kitchen and bathrooms. Oh, this is fabulous. I have 3 things I need to buy already. Okay, great. Head on over, everyone, to morningsave.com to snag all these amazing deals that Steph showed us at the lowest prices. Seriously, you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. It's easy. Steph, it is so good to see your face and to be in the studio with you. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tomorrow on DBL, reality TV power couple Dr. Terry and Heather Dubrow. Wait till you hear what she says about Real Housewife villain Kelly Dodd.
I need you, Heather, to weigh in on some of the recent Orange County housewife drama.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Janice says, count the votes. We're not going anywhere. Jan on Facebook says it's a sad shame America is in this situation. Those mail-in votes should have never happened. Only polls and absentees, as it has always been. Actually, mail-in voting has occurred in many states for many elections, and it is safe. It is not a thing, voter fraud. And then Marty, in my opinion, the Electoral College is antiquated. Well, we appreciate all of you. We appreciate you, Tori. DBL's new every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
It's not over yet as President Trump and Joe Biden race to reach 270 electoral votes. But how long will this go on? Nancy Grace doesn't hold back one bit. Bam! You don't want to miss her passionate take on the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases. From infidelity to sex addiction, Jana Kramer and Mike Costin reveal why they're choosing to fight through their marriage struggles.
It's hard when you're living with an addict.
And a straight married man challenging gender norms. How he's working to prove skirts and heels aren't just for women.
She'll say, Dad, I want to borrow your shoes. So
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 5th. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Tori joining us from home. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Well, here we are, 2 days after the election, and as of the time of our taping, it is not over yet. Both candidates still have a path to reach the White House, but even if Biden or the president make it to 270 electoral votes, legal challenges could mean this will take a lot longer to sort out. So already the president's campaign has filed lawsuits in 4 states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and now Nevada. He also asked for a recount in Wisconsin. So a lot of people, in fact, a lot of our viewers have written in, they're angry about the results. In fact, supporters of the president turned out at a polling center last night, as you can see, that was in Detroit, and they chanted, "Stop the count." But then on the flip side in Arizona, they shouted, count the vote. So the demonstrators there, some armed, ended up forcing the polling station to shut down. Now, I just got this bit of information that just came in per this taping, that a judge in Michigan threw out that lawsuit pertaining to President Trump and his administration and Michigan. So, Tori, again, you are our D.C. insider. You live and breathe elections and politics. How are you feeling right now? How long will this go on, in your opinion?
All right, so I think the longest it could go is maybe Sunday, and that's looking at Nevada and Clark County especially. They're taking a pretty long time to count those ballots, and it is razor thin. I'm talking, Sam, 12,000 votes between the two candidates. But I'm feeling okay. You know why? Because our local elected officials and our poll workers are doing their job. They're sitting there calmly. They're counting the ballots that they're supposed to be doing amongst all of this loud noise that they really shouldn't have to get through. I really want to thank them, because those are the people that are actually making this work. Now, as for the lawsuits, first of all, recounts happen automatically if you get to about 1% in certain states. But lawsuits can be thrown out, like you just said. In Michigan, it was just thrown out. And in Georgia, a judge recently this morning threw out another lawsuit. So they don't always have to take long periods of time. They can be thrown out that day.
Listen, I kind of saw this coming, right? With all the mail-in voting. I know it's not new here in Colorado where we film, but some states are new and it could be a problem or difficult to count all the votes. So I kind of had this in mind. I thought it might take a couple days. People need to be patient, right? They need to let whoever counts the votes count their votes uninterrupted. I don't think anyone wants a Cuban government from the 80s that's corrupt. This is America. We don't want that. We want the best. We want fairness. Whoever's going to win the election is going to win the election. We have to be patient and let people do their jobs uninterrupted.
And I would also add to that, and then Erica jump in, not only be patient, but we really need to be hyper vigilant when it comes to misinformation. I just want to make it crystal clear that the organizations that do handle those mail-in ballots and voting in general, they have announced time and time again today, as well as over the past 3 decades, that voter fraud is not a thing. It's like 0.00004%. Somebody please in the booth give me the exact statistic of voter fraud, and that includes mail-in ballots as well. Many states, the United States military, our very own president, all partake in mail-in ballots. So let's have faith in our democracy and let's be patient.
Yeah, I think that you really are hitting the nail on the head. It's about the wanton or willful disinformation or misinformation that's out there, because the truth is, states like the state that we reside in, Colorado, we have been doing mail-in ballots for quite some time. We had no issues because we have the system down. When you start to say or put in skepticism about the legitimacy of mail-in ballots, that's why we're here now. But the idea of just stopping the count just because you want the count to be stopped is ridiculous. What is the next step after that?
Right, that's not a democracy. And I just got word from our booth, and we're going to move on. It's 0.0025% rate of any possible fraud. So that is almost slim to none. Let's remember that as Americans, and let's hold faith.
And
okay,
by the way, Sam,
yes.
quickly, I think I said Cuba, I meant Colombia. If that matters to anybody out there, I just thought about it in my head.
Thank you.
Pablo Escobar, you know,
I was wondering.
Oh, were you? I knew somebody caught it, and I was like in my head, I was like, somebody caught that.
Let's get, of course, Tori did. Let's get to some comments, because we have gotten so many comments from our viewers yesterday and also today, both about our show and also about the election and the uncertainty that you're all feeling. So we're going to read a few and then respond to you directly. These first two kind of go together, so I'm going to read them back to back. Rob says on Twitter, Trump knows that if the count carries on, he'll lose the presidency by even more. Mike on Twitter, so many irregularities in the voting process. We need to redo the entire election. No mail-in ballots. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Tori, have at it.
I just can't. All of this is sort of made up. All of this is a story. And Sam, you said it great, and you brought in the number 0.000025. The great people of our country do wonderfully. Our state elected officials, our attorney generals in our states, our poll workers, our volunteers. None of this is true. This is a made-up story that came out in this election and this election only. No one else has worried about mail-in ballots for years. And may I remind you, our own president mails in his vote.
Thank you, Tori. Frank on Facebook says, I agree with Jeff's point yesterday. Just because someone votes for Trump because they think it will be better for their wallet does not mean that they also do not value black and brown Americans. You can support Trump and not be a racist.
Yeah, Sam, I believe I said this on a different show, but the point was I was saying all people who vote for Trump are not racist, right? I've had this conversation with friends. We've had it in here, and I don't necessarily believe with everything in both sides of the party. I am a moderate at heart. That's how I live on and off camera. But I want to support people. I have to be careful with my words here. I want to give the people at home who believe in one side or the other a voice, right? I want to protect them. So I still think all people who vote for Trump are not racists. But I did have a conversation off camera with a friend of mine. I don't want to point him out, but I just pointed him out literally. We were talking, and it was kind of a light bulb moment for me. And he's like, I agree with you there. But I think that all racists are Trump supporters. So it kind of like gave me a light bulb moment. And I want to choose my words very carefully here because I am an ally to everyone. Even if you look at me and want to paint me with this broad brush that I'm a handsome, intelligent man. I'm trying to keep it light here. I'm trying to keep it very light. But, in a serious note, I don't want to be painted with that brush when I'm trying to represent a side that's not represented on our show.
Well, I think that, first of all, Jeff, I know who you are. We have been working together for years, and I know that that's not who you are. I think that you are in a very tricky position, and I do not envy it. I absolutely have worked with people who maliciously believed that my oppression was a part of their greatness, and that is not who you are. We were brought here on this show in order to represent America having discourse civilly. And that was the genesis of this show over 3 years ago. And so the idea that we have diversity of people, diversity of thought, diversity of opinion is very important because regardless of how big the scale is, there needs to be some type of representation in order to facilitate these conversations. And that's what we're doing here. So I think that that is very important. I know that a lot of people have just met us and just found the show, and they don't have any idea of who we are and what we do, but I think that it should be very clear about who we are and what we do.
And I think it's really, we had this last comment even says, I love, this is from Shelley, I love how all the DBL hosts have their own different opinions, but everybody gets along and lets everyone have their opinion. That's what this world needs. That comment is so vital, not only to this panel, because if you can have conversation, you can grow and you can evolve and you can be empathetic. But I've been reading your comments for the last couple days, and I know I just have a few seconds, but I really want to acknowledge this. Many of our viewers have written in that their interpersonal relationships have been shattered because of this election, whether it be your parents, whether it be your colleagues, whether it be your friends, and you guys are struggling. And I just want to let those viewers know that I've read those comments, we've read those comments, you are not alone. Of course, I can't fix it, none of us can. I can't offer any advice except for the fact that you're not alone. And I hope that gives you some sort of comfort, and I hope that we can all have faith, blind faith, even if that's a thing, that we will at some point as Americans, I pray, correct this and somehow unify again, because the stories that I'm reading are absolutely heartbreaking, and do know that we see you and we hear you. Tori, stick around. Coming up next, Nancy Grace brings her fiery legal perspective to DBL. She's tackling the biggest cases of the day, including Breonna Taylor and the controversy over no-knock warrants. Plus, he says he's a normal, happily married straight guy, so why does he prefer to wear skirts and heels? We'll find out when we chat with this new Instagram sensation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Nancy Grace is busier than ever on TV and radio. She also has a new book about fighting back against crime. Earlier, Tori spoke with Nancy about cases that have captured the nation's attention, like Breonna Taylor. That's in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Welcome, Nancy Grace, to Daily Blast Live. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Your new book, titled Don't Be a Victim, is a call to action for people to take protection into their own hands. And in it, you write, crime is evolving, and we have to evolve along with it. Talk to me about what that means. How is crime evolving?
Wow, it really is. It took me 2 years to research and write Don't Be a Victim. All my proceeds, 100%, going to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I started writing this book, as I said, 2 years ago, and it's based on every case I ever investigated, personally took to trial, or covered. Not just a retelling of the stories, but to cull from them what, if anything, we can learn. And it's not meant to scare anyone. It is meant to empower the readers at a time where so many of us are feeling helpless, like there's nothing we can do to affect change around us. That's not true. There are ways to fight back against crime.
I totally agree with you, but let me talk to you about when the crime is committed by law enforcement, okay? We're gonna get into this Breonna Taylor situation. After the ruling in the case, in the grand jury case, where only one officer was indicted for wanton endangerment. Nancy, there was a lot of public outrage and pain from people who felt like victims and people who believe the grand jury didn't go far enough or had enough information. You have been in front of grand juries. Walk the DBL Nation and me through that and how you think that decision was made. It's a very pro-prosecutor situation. There's not even really a defense attorney there, am I right?
Well, of course there's not a defense attorney there because this is not a petit jury, which is a jury of 12 or in some jurisdictions 6. This is a grand jury because the size is grand. It's 30 to 40 or more people taken from the voter registration. So what they do is very simply determine, is there enough evidence to bring a charge to send to a petite or petit jury to determine guilt or innocence. So this is not the time for the defense to be heard. This is a bare bones hearing to say, is there enough evidence to try this case and let a jury decide? Or is there no evidence and we'll no-bill it, we'll kick it out? So don't blame the grand jury right off the bat.
But let's talk about that raid. Nancy, there's activists calling for no-knock warrants to be banned, unconstitutional, against the Fourth Amendment, right? And some local lawmakers are trying to make that a reality. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, first of all, they're not unconstitutional. Bam! There, I can drop the knife right there. Imagine this. Let's go with a 5-year-old little girl out on the playground. Mommy goes to the minivan to get a cold water, comes back, baby girl gone. Turns out she has been snatched by a child sex predator, a registered sex offender. He's immediately traced because of video surveillance there at the playground to his apartment where he's holed up with a 5-year-old girl. What do you think we should do? Have the cop go to the door and go, hello, we'd like to come in for a cup of tea and talk about this little girl we think you snatched. HELL, no. You yell police and you bust in there and save the girl. I'm telling you why we cannot do away with no-knock provisions. Now, did the cops in the Breonna Taylor function appropriately? I don't know that, but getting rid of the no-knock is absurd. That's throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So whoever's screaming that needs to go and read the law books and find out why we have no-knock provisions.
We're not done with Nancy Grace yet. Tomorrow, Nancy weighs in on the defund the police movement, plus what Nancy would have done differently in the courtroom in George Floyd's case.
When you commit a crime, whether you're wearing a badge or not, you have a date with Lady Justice and go in front of a jury.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
It's only a matter of time.
Welcome back to DBL. They say clothes make the man, but for Mark Bryan, they don't make the gender. His skirt and heels combo are making him a huge hit on Instagram. Tori caught up with him earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
Mark Bryan, welcome to DBL. Thank you for taking the time. Do you mind just standing up and showing us your outfit right now of the day? What you're choosing to wear today? Let's see. Let's see. We got the manly black and then the ooh-hoo! Yes. When did skirts and heels become a staple in your daily wardrobe, and why?
I've been wearing heels for the long time.
Right.
I mean, for almost off and on for about 40 years. And then joking with my colleagues and stuff like that, I said eventually I'm going to wear a skirt. And tried on the skirt one time, and I go, wow, I don't look too bad.
And it's sort of become like a uniform, the skirt and the dress shirt combo. Is that significant to you, those two together, as sort of like a superhero combo, or you just like the look of it aesthetically?
I don't know about superhero. It's just kind of my adapted style. I want to kind of, maintain wearing men's shirts, but wearing women's skirts and heels, just to kind of keep what I call like a hybrid style. My big thing is to promote non-gendered clothing, and also that clothes should not dictate a person's sexual orientation.
Absolutely. Is it a statement? Is it empowering? Or do you just kind of engineering mind like the aesthetic and the lines that the clothes make for you?
I like the aesthetics and the lines. When I started wearing skirts and shoes, I just had so much different options to wear, and that's something I really enjoyed. I'm not a big fashion nerd, but it actually kind of broke the monotony that I've had over like the last 30 years.
What do your kids think of this?
Well, it's funny because everyone's been saying a father of three. I'm a father of three, but my kids are between the ages of like 41 and 33. They haven't been at home for quite a while now. So my daughter's always, she'll see me post a picture on Instagram or something, and she'll say, "Dad, I want to borrow your shoes." So
you do have some good shoes on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, you have some really good shoes.
Oh.
Now, a lot of women talking about heels think you're nuts for opting out to wear these uncomfortable heels all day. I wear Uggs constantly, which is super unattractive, as my husband says. What do you want to say directly to those who might object about the heels? Do you find them comfortable and sort of powerful? How do you feel?
I don't find them comfortable, but I've found that if I buy a good quality shoe and find a shoe that fits well, I'll go over comfort more than style. If I know I'm going to have to do a lot of walking during the day at work, I won't wear my 5-inch stilettos. I'll wear like a 3.5-inch or 4-inch heel instead.
We do have to ask you, when we first featured your story on the show, Jeff, my co-host, he got a little jealous and competitive of your calves because you have fabulous calves.
That man is in shape and he looks good.
He looks dang good.
He looks good. He's got good legs. I don't like to brag, but I do have excellent
You really
calves.
do. I just wanted you to rate Jeff's calves from 1 to 10. Do you think he could rock the high heel and skirt?
Check that out.
Okay, you don't need a flex.
Well, I'm not. That's just how they look.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not wearing a skirt and high heels right now.
It's a fair comment. Totally fair comment. He looks great.
I mean, he sits behind a desk all day. He's TV above the waist. He could be underneath that desk right now wearing his skirt and high heels, and nobody would ever know.
I think he should show it off, and we completely agree. What a cool, awesome engineering mind you are, and I'm just so excited to have spoken to you. Thank you so much for chatting and stopping by and explaining things to people so people can understand and learn. We'll be right back. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
love that at DBL
we get to tell it like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now. We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real. That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
And we have a great month of November for you, so do not miss a day. And if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Britney Spears makes another power play to take control of her life, and Michael J. Fox gets real about the darkest moment in his life. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Eric and Jeff. Miss Tori joining us from home. Let's get started, everybody. Michael J. Fox, well, we all love him. Well, he's opening up about what he calls the darkest moment in his life. So speaking to People magazine, the actor who has Parkinson's disease says he struggled to put on a shiny, happy face after he had surgery to remove a spinal tumor, and then he fell and broke his arm. He was alone and says while he was waiting for the ambulance, he felt like this is as low as it gets. So eventually, Michael realized that optimism is rooted in gratitude and acceptance and was able to move past the dark time. Michael also credits his wife of 32 years, Tracy, for that optimism. He says, they laugh for a good 2 minutes about something every day. I love that. You know, this makes me think of you, Jeff, because you try to always focus on the positive. Clearly, we know Michael J. Fox has been through a lot, but speak to us about gratitude.
Well, I mean, I was thinking of Erica Cobb, funnily enough. I think we have the same philosophy about that. But, you know, Michael J. Fox is going through something that hopefully I don't even fathom in my lifetime. Not saying you know what I mean by that. But you have to find gratitude and optimism no matter what you're going through. But Michael J. Fox is an example of that. People struggle all the time. They go through terrible, terrible things, but you have to find gratitude. You have to find optimism. And for Michael J. Fox being in the condition that he is, to laugh with his wife and make that part of his day, which they met on Family Ties Throwback, great show, is what it's all about, right?
Yeah, I appreciate anytime we get the, true gift of hearing from Michael J. Fox, because he is such an icon. He is a legend. And he's also someone who has been very public about his struggles and bouts with disabilities. Parkinson's has completely taken over his life to the point that he's talked about the idea of losing his memory and not being able to remember the lines as much. So it's affecting his acting career as well in a greater capacity. The idea of gratitude is so important. And, Jeff and I talk about this a lot, because if you can't be grateful for what you have, you'll never be grateful for what you may get in the future. So I think that that's always a great exercise. And honestly, there's this thing on YouTube, I'm sure you've seen it, but it's Denzel Washington talking about as soon as you wake up in the morning, you should say exactly what you're grateful for, so you always remember to be grateful. And it works. It works, people. I'm just telling you.
I love it. And Tori, you've always, yesterday, Al and Jeff gave you some flack for your incredible Buddhism speak, I should say. But I think it's important, because Buddhism, what you've taught me, Tori, is acceptance and ownership. And Michael J. Fox said the one thing that really helped him get through it, besides gratitude, was acceptance and ownership, meaning look what he's done for Parkinson's research. His foundation has raised nearly $1 billion to Parkinson's, to help benefit Parkinson's disease and the research that funds it. Tori, that's exactly what you were speaking to yesterday, that you were made fun of for.
Yeah, I think, and I was mocked. No, I think Michael J. Fox single-handedly is moving towards a Parkinson's cure more than any other human being ever has. It's unbelievable what he's done. But what I think he's understanding is, in life, it's okay to understand that things are gonna go bad. You are going to suffer at some point, because the more you push that away, when it hits, you're overwhelmed. So he seems to be accepting the suffering, laughing with the suffering, feeling grateful with the suffering, and my God, that's the way out of the hole. That's the way out of depression.
Amen. Okay, so Britney Spears is asking a judge to completely remove her dad as her legal co-conservator. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Britney claims her dad hired a new business manager without consulting her after her old one quit. Britney claims the new manager also has ties to her dad's legal team. She wants her current trust company to look after her finances and her dad to be completely out of the picture. Despite all her legal troubles, Britney recently posted this message to her fans on Instagram. Watch.
Hi, so I know that there have been a lot of comments and a lot of people saying a lot of different things about me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am fine. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm sending all of you guys a lot of prayers, wishes, and a lot of love.
Oh, I have so many feelings about this. The Free Britney movement has been a hashtag, Erica, as well, that has trended, people advocating for Britney Spears because she feels, her fan base feels that she's been taken advantage of by her father. Now, these are all allegations, but we know that conservatorship abuse does exist, and there have been many, many victims of this. Putting that aside, I hope Britney's well, because I'm just going to be honest here, and this is somebody that's also suffered from mental health issues. Every video she posts, she does not seem well to me.
I can understand that feeling, Sam. I feel like I've been talking about Britney Spears since, her early days in music, because coming from a radio background, that was my relationship with her career. I am really at a point, and have been since probably 2013, that it's almost too violating to even have this conversation with someone who clearly is struggling with so many things. Like, I don't find it entertaining. I find it incredibly, it's tragic. The whole thing is very tragic.
But may it be, I agree with you, but may it be educational, because a lot of people don't know that conservatorship abuse exists.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying this is the case in Britney Spears, but the more you unravel it, this is just my opinion only, it does seem like that's the case with Britney Spears. So if no one's going to advocate for her, thank God she has that Britney Spears movement, Free Britney, because this is somebody who, in my opinion, is suffering, and she needs all the help she can get. She does not want to be conservatorship free, I should say. She just does not want her father being the conservator, and she wants the current trust company to be her conservator.
Listen, I don't know what to say here, because like Erica said, I think it's a little deeper and darker than what we look at, like social media wise. I'm not saying her father is even the problem here. I don't even know if he's the problem. Is there something wrong with Britney? We're not clinicians. We don't know. I do know that when I look at it with my eyes and my wife shows me, like, look at Britney Spears, something's wrong. I don't see something in her eyes. And again, I could be totally off. I'm not a clinician, like I said, but something doesn't seem right there. So I don't know if the father's wrong here. I don't know if something people need to keep an eye on Brittany, but it's not something that I'm laughing at or entertained by.
We wish Brittany all the best and just hope that she gets the justice that she is seeking. So given the current political climate, we could all definitely use a laugh, am I right? So Jimmy Kimmel invited some politicians to read mean tweets about themselves. Enjoy.
Bernie Sanders seems like the type of guy who'd return a single piece of fruit to Walmart and hold up the line for an hour. Well, not quite, but I do hope that the workers in Walmart can eventually earn a living wage with decent benefits.
Elizabeth Warren is what happens when Jan Brady grows up.
If Templeton the rat from Charlotte's Web had a successful rat cousin he hated for being an unctuous slime ball, it would be Ted Cruz.
Oh my gosh, Tori, what do you think of politicians poking fun at themselves?
Okay, so I've always thought this was the best thing that Obama did during his campaign. He did mean tweets, and it just made him so relatable. Whenever you can poke fun of yourself, why do you think I love it? Because it makes you relatable. Now, here's the one thing with President Trump. There isn't a ton of humor with him. He doesn't mock himself, and if he did, let's say, hit an appearance on SNL or read a mean tweet, there's be so much love for that and sort of so much like now he sees it, but there just is a disconnect. So I love when Ted Cruz calls himself a rat because he knows it's funny and it's okay, and it just makes everybody more relatable.
Listen, if you want a good laugh, watch Larry David read mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel. He cracks up the whole time through it. I mean, I follow like Curb Your Enthusiasm on my Instagram, and it just makes me laugh. Like I go on social media, I'm like, I'm gonna regret this, and then I see like Larry David cracking his way up through a mean tweet, and then, I'm telling you, look it up, it'll put a smile on your face.
I want to see Bernie Sanders and Larry David.
That's what reminded me of it. When I saw Bernie, I'm like, Larry's are the best.
So good. Coming up on DBL, surviving sex addiction. Jenna Kramer and Mike Cosson have been through hell and back in their marriage, but we ask them how they got through it next. Close.
Welcome back to DBL. You know, Pat Benatar was on to something when she said, love is a battlefield. There might not be a couple that knows that better than Jana Kramer and Mike Cosson. Their relationship scandals have made headlines, but earlier they told me they're ready to use the bad for the good. Check it out.
She was a rising star in Hollywood and Nashville. He was a professional football player. When they met, their romance moved fast. From engagement to marriage to expecting their first child, all within a year. But with the highs came lows. A cheating scandal split the couple apart. But Jana returned to Mike's side when he later admitted to having a sex addiction. Now, the couple says they're stronger than ever with 2 kids and is passing on their learned life lessons to other couples in a new book, The Good Fight.
Welcome, Jana and Mike, to Daily Blast Live.
Hey.
Hey, Erica. Thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for being here. And we're going to jump right in because every couple has their own dirty laundry, but not every couple reveals theirs in a book. So what do you say to the people who believe relationship issues maybe should stay in the bedroom?
I mean, I definitely think, there's some truth to that. There's certain things that we don't tell our friends, but I also think being open and vulnerable with your friends is sometimes can really help a relationship. I know a lot of times couples that we've known and friends that we've had, like once they've expressed kind of their issues, it doesn't hold as much weight for them and they might have a better relationship. So I think sometimes sharing is actually a really healthy thing for the relationship.
You know, Mike, you've done more than just control the narrative. You've been very open about your addiction issues. And most of the time when someone is open about something like addiction that they're battling, people applaud them for their transparency because they're helping other people who might be going through it. But when we talk about sex addiction, many people are still coming around to the understanding that it is in fact a real addiction. So how do you deal with people who don't believe it's a real condition?
That's a great question. And it's unfortunate because I do feel that way at times where, if I was in AA or, in 12-step program for drugs or anything else, you get a little bit more pat on the back and empathy and support in the fact that my addiction isn't socially accepted yet. And society is about 10 to 15 years behind, the ball on that. There's a lot more shame involved in it. And, I have my moments where I might feel uncomfortable in a moment because maybe someone's judging me a little bit more because they don't believe in sex addiction or think it's a married man's excuse and all of this. But you know what? It's my truth. It's the life that I live, and that's all that matters to me. And fortunately, over time, I've been able to get more comfortable with that. And I have an amazing wife that supports me. So that's really all that matters to me.
Okay, so let's dive more into the book. Now, you share the advice to, quote, claim your baggage. And sometimes that baggage is infidelity. So when a relationship is built on trust and that trust is broken, is it possible to fully trust that person again?
It's hard when you're living with an addict. Do I trust Michael today? Yeah, I do. He's showing up today as a husband. He's shown up as a father today. The problem with our relationship is like every time you start to trust, something would happen, and then it's just like you can never like hold on to anything. So now, if we get a couple good years in us where we feel like okay, like he's been straight and we've been good, then I can be like, okay, I can trust this a little bit more. But I think it just takes time, and it takes a lot of goodwill and a lot of love in the bank.
Well, I appreciate the love in the bank thing because really you're talking about your baggage and bringing it up in a relationship. And do you think that it's important that you have certain amounts of deposits of love in the bank before you start bringing up your baggage? Or do you think that it's something that should be brought up maybe before, all of those deposits are made?
Even when I met him, I was like, look, I've been married 2 times before. I have daddy issues. I've got this, I've got that. And I'm like, you kind of take it or you leave it. Like, I want a kid. I want to get married.
Right.
Like, maybe I was a little, but it worked in the beginning.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think it depends on what age you're at and level of maturity.
Right. Well, I mean, Jana, to be honest, I am a lot like you in terms of I just put it all out there. Like, listen, this is it. I'm remarried. I told my now husband that, listen, I'm a divorcee. I have these issues, blah, blah, blah. Like, basically, this is what it is. I was very transparent in the beginning. And, you know, I do believe that helped at least manage expectations of who we were and what we were both bringing to the table. Well, I thank you and Mike because I really do appreciate your honesty and transparency. I know that you are helping other people get through and make their relationships better. Their best-selling book, The Good Fight, is on bookstore shelves now. And if you need more Mike and Jana in your life, you can also check out their award-winning podcast, Wind Down. We will be right back.
Thanks, girl.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for some sweet, sweet deals. Earlier, Steph showed Tori some amazing deals at even better prices. So here is this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
We are together in the studio. Look at us. What do you have for us today, Steph? Right across from me.
So, Tori, I'm super excited to be back, but I'm here with some awesome products and deals that you guys are going to love. So, come with me. Ooh. If you like salon quality hair treatments, then this Sultra Limited Edition 2-inch professional blowout brush is exactly what you need. Look at this, it's amazing.
Ooh.
The unique design combines the powerful airflow of a dryer with the smoothing and volumizing benefits of a round brush, so it'll dry, smooth, and style your hair up to 50% faster than your normal routine. And the best bit is it comes with this technology that protects your hair from any heat damage, so that's awesome. So usually this is $150, which is pretty spenny, but we've got it for $39, saving 74%.
Steph, that's fantastic. Also, it leaves me more time to eat my breakfast burrito in the morning because usually I'm doing this for an hour. So fabulous.
I know, I love it, right? Okay, next up, I've got something that will keep your skin looking flawless. So this is the L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Anti-Wrinkle and Firming 3-piece skincare set. So it includes a firming and anti-wrinkle day cream, eye cream, and night cream.
Bravo.
So it's the perfect set for everyday use to combat aging. So you guys will see firmer skin in 4 weeks, and it reduces dark circles. It's dermatologist tested, fragrance-free, and suitable for sensitive skin. Very important. So normally this set is $54.
Expensive.
We've got it for $25, Tori, saving our viewers 54%.
Saving your skin and your wallet. What? That's really good. And that stuff works. I'm getting that. That's
Love it.
Amazing.
Tori, this one. I find keeping my fridge like really hard to keep it tidy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you do too.
Yeah.
But I do. So this is a 10-pack Heidi and Oak fridge mat that help me keep things a bit organized.
Okay.
So they're colorful, so you can put them in your refrigerator and help keep it clean from drips and messes. And they're non-slip, non-stick, and lightweight, so they can even be cut to fit any size fridge or anywhere. Love that. So normally they're $40, but we've got them for $15, which means you're saving 62%.
And you get a 10-pack.
I like the pink one.
Of course you do. I love that you love that one.
And then last but not least, I've got something that's going to help you stay clean and disinfected in your home. So this is the Odyssey Mind and Body Motion Activated Sanitizer and Soap Dispenser.
I love that.
So, I mean, it's super sleek, let's be honest. It's very modern, and it's going to increase sanitation in your home, so I love it. It holds 17 ounces of your favorite soap, lotion, or sanitizer, and it's got this really funky stainless chrome finish, so it's going to look amazing in any kitchen or any bathroom. So normally this is $50, but we've got it, are you ready?
Yeah.
For $19, so 62%.
Oh, that is fantastic.
It's stealing, Tori, it's stealing.
Stainless steel, stealing that. And in coronavirus times, let's all be honest, that's all we need all over our kitchen and bathrooms. Oh, this is fabulous. I have 3 things I need to buy already. Okay, great. Head on over, everyone, to morningsave.com to snag all these amazing deals that Steph showed us at the lowest prices. Seriously, you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. It's easy. Steph, it is so good to see your face and to be in the studio with you. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tomorrow on DBL, reality TV power couple Dr. Terry and Heather Dubrow. Wait till you hear what she says about Real Housewife villain Kelly Dodd.
I need you, Heather, to weigh in on some of the recent Orange County housewife drama.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Janice says, count the votes. We're not going anywhere. Jan on Facebook says it's a sad shame America's in this situation. Those mail-in votes should have never happened. Only polls and absentees, as it has always been. Actually, mail-in voting has occurred in many states for many elections, and it is safe. It is not a thing, voter fraud. And then Marty, in my opinion, the Electoral College is antiquated. Well, we appreciate all of you. We appreciate you, Tori. DBL's new every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
On Daily Blast Live.
It's not over yet as President Trump and Joe Biden race to reach 270 electoral votes. But how long will this go on? Nancy Grace doesn't hold back one bit. Bam! You don't want to miss her passionate take on the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases. From infidelity to sex addiction, Jana Kramer and Mike Costin reveal why they're choosing to fight through their marriage struggles.
It's hard when you're living with an addict.
And a straight married man challenging gender norms. How he's working to prove skirts and heels aren't just for women.
She'll say, Dad, I want to borrow your shoes. So
real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, November 5th. I'm Sam here with Erica and Jeff. Tori joining us from home. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Well, here we are, 2 days after the election, and as of the time of our taping, it is not over yet. Both candidates still have a path to reach the White House, but even if Biden or the president make it to 270 electoral votes, legal challenges could mean this will take a lot longer to sort out. So already the president's campaign has filed lawsuits in 4 states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and now Nevada. He also asked for a recount in Wisconsin. So a lot of people, in fact, a lot of our viewers have written in, they're angry about the results. In fact, supporters of the president turned out at a polling center last night, as you can see, that was in Detroit, and they chanted, "Stop the count." But then on the flip side in Arizona, they shouted, count the vote. So the demonstrators there, some armed, ended up forcing the polling station to shut down. Now, I just got this this bit of information that just came in per this taping that a judge in Michigan threw out that lawsuit pertaining to President Trump and his administration and Michigan. So, Tori, again, you are our D.C. insider. You live and breathe elections and politics. How are you feeling right now? How long will this go on, in your opinion?
All right, so I think the longest it could go is maybe Sunday, and that's looking at Nevada and Clark County especially. They're taking a pretty long time to count those ballots, and it is razor thin. I'm talking, Sam, 12,000 votes between the two candidates. But I'm feeling okay. You know why? Because our local elected officials and our poll workers are doing their job. They're sitting there calmly. They're counting the ballots that they're supposed to be doing amongst all of this loud noise that they really shouldn't have to get through. I really want to thank them because those are the people that are actually making this work. Now, as for the lawsuits, first of all, recounts happen automatically if you get to about 1% in certain states. But lawsuits can be thrown out. Like you just said, in Michigan, it was just thrown out. And in Georgia, a judge recently this morning threw out another lawsuit. So they don't always have to take long, long periods of time. They can be thrown out that day.
Listen, I kind of saw this coming, right? With all the mail-in voting, I know it's not new here in Colorado where we film, but some states are new and it could be a problem or difficult to count all the votes. So I kind of had this in mind. I thought it might take a couple days. People need to be patient, right? They need to let whoever counts the votes count their votes uninterrupted. I don't think anyone wants a Cuban government from the 80s that's corrupt. This is America. We don't want that. We want the best. We want fairness. Whoever's going to win the election is going to win the election. We have to be patient and let people do their jobs uninterrupted.
And I would also add to that, and then Erica jump in, not only be patient, but we really need to be hyper vigilant when it comes to misinformation. I just want to make it crystal clear that the organizations that do handle those mail-in ballots and voting in general, they have announced time and time and time again today, as well as over the past 3 decades, that voter fraud is not a thing. It's like 0.00004%. Somebody please in the booth give me the exact statistic of voter fraud, and that includes mail-in ballots as well. Many states, the United States military, our very own president, all partake in mail-in ballots. So let's have faith in our democracy and let's be patient.
Yeah, I think that you really are hitting the nail on the head. It's about the wanton or willful disinformation or misinformation that's out there. Because the truth is, states like the state that we reside in, Colorado, we have been doing mail-in ballots for quite some time. We had no issues because we have the system down. When you start to say or put in skepticism about the legitimacy of mail-in ballots, that's why we're here now. But the idea of just stopping the count just because you want the count to be stopped is ridiculous. What is the next step after that?
Right, that's not a democracy. And I just got word from our booth, and we're going to move on. It's 0.0025% rate of any possible fraud. So that is almost slim to none. Let's remember that as Americans, and let's hold faith.
And
okay,
by the way, Sam,
yes.
quickly, I think I said Cuba, I meant Colombia.
Got
if
it.
that matters
That's
to anybody
good.
out there,
Clarify.
I just thought about it in my head.
Thank you.
Pablo Escobar, you know
I
the
was
whole deal.
wondering.
Oh, were you? I knew
course
somebody
he
caught
was.
it, and I was like in my head, I was like, somebody caught that.
Let's get, of course, Tori did. Let's get to some comments because we have gotten so many comments from our viewers yesterday and also today, both about our show and also about the election and the uncertainty that you're all feeling. So we're going to read a few and then respond to you directly. These first two kind of go together, so I'm going to read them back to back. Rob says on Twitter, Trump knows that if the count carries on, he'll lose the presidency by even more. Mike on Twitter, so many irregularities in the voting process. We need to redo the entire election. No mail-in ballots. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Tori, have at it.
I just can't. All of this is sort of made up. All of this is a story. And Sam, you said it great, and you brought in the number 0.000025. The great people of our country do wonderfully. Our state elected officials, our attorney generals in our states, our poll workers, our volunteers. None of this is true. This is a made-up story that came out in this election and this election only. No one else is worried about mail-in ballots for years. And may I remind you, our own president mails in his vote.
Thank you, Tori. Frank on Facebook says, I agree with Jeff's point yesterday. Just because someone votes for Trump because they think it will be better for their wallet does not mean that they also do not value black and brown Americans. You can support Trump and not be a racist.
Yeah, Sam, I believe I said this on a different show, but the point was I was saying all people who vote for Trump are not racist, right? I've had this conversation with friends. We've had it in here, and I don't necessarily believe with everything in both sides of the party. I am a moderate at heart. That's how I live on and off camera. But I want to support people. I have to be careful with my words here. I want to give the people at home who believe in one side or the other a voice, right? I want to protect them. So I still think all people who vote for Trump are not racists. But I did have a conversation off camera with a friend of mine. I don't want to point him out, but I just pointed him out literally. We were talking, and it was kind of a light bulb moment for me. And he's like, I agree with you there. But I think that all racists are Trump supporters. So it kind of like gave me a light bulb moment. And I want to choose my words very carefully here, because I am an ally to everyone. Even if you look at me and want to paint me with this broad brush that I'm a handsome, intelligent man. I'm trying to keep it light here. I'm trying to keep it very light. But, in a serious note, I don't want to be painted with that brush when I'm trying to represent a side that's not represented on our show.
Well, I think that, first of all, Jeff, I know who you are. We have been working together for years, and I know that that's not who you are. I think that you are in a very tricky position, and I do not envy it. I absolutely have worked with people who maliciously believed that my oppression was a part of their greatness, and that is not who you are. We were brought here on this show in order to represent America having discourse civilly. And that was the genesis of this show over 3 years ago. And so the idea that we have diversity of people, diversity of thought, diversity of opinion is very important, because regardless of how big the scale is, there needs to be some type of representation in order to facilitate these conversations. And that's what we're doing here. So I think that that is very important. I know that a lot of people have just met us and just found the show, and they don't have any idea of who we are and what we do, but I think that it should be very clear about who we are and what we do.
And I think it's really, we have this last comment even says, this is from Shelley, I love how all the DBL hosts have their own different opinions, but everybody gets along and lets everyone have their opinion. That's what this world needs. That comment is so vital, not only to this panel, because if you can have conversation, you can grow and you can evolve and you can be empathetic. But I've been reading your comments for the last couple days, and I know I just have a few seconds, but I really want to acknowledge this. Many of our viewers have written in that their interpersonal relationships have been shattered because of this election, whether it be your parents, whether it be your colleagues, whether it be your friends, and you guys are struggling. And I just want to let those viewers know that I've read those comments, we've read those comments, you are not alone. Of course, I can't fix it, none of us can. I can't offer any advice except for the fact that you're not alone. And I hope that gives you some sort of comfort, and I hope that we can all have faith, blind faith, even if that's a thing, that we will at some point as Americans, I pray, correct this and somehow unify again, because the stories that I'm reading are absolutely heartbreaking, and do know that we see you and we hear you. Tori, stick around. Coming up next, Nancy Grace brings her fiery legal perspective to DBL. She's tackling the biggest cases of the day, including Breonna Taylor and the controversy over no-knock warrants. Plus, he says he's a normal, happily married straight guy, so why does he prefer to wear skirts and heels? We'll find out when we chat with this new Instagram sensation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Nancy Grace is busier than ever on TV and radio. She also has a new book about fighting back against crime. Earlier, Tori spoke with Nancy about cases that have captured the nation's attention, like Breonna Taylor. That's in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Welcome, Nancy Grace, to Daily Blast Live. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Your new book, titled Don't Be a Victim, is a call to action for people to take protection into their own hands. And in it, you write, crime is evolving, and we have to evolve along with it. Talk to me about what that means. How is crime evolving?
Well, it really is. It took me 2 years to research and write Don't Be a Victim. All my proceeds, 100%, going to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I started writing this book, as I said, 2 years ago, and it's based on every case I ever investigated, personally took to trial, or covered. Not just a retelling of the stories, but to cull from them what, if anything, we can learn. And it's not meant to scare anyone. It is meant to empower the readers at a time where so many of us are feeling helpless, like there's nothing we can do to affect change around us. That's not true. There are ways to fight back against crime.
I totally agree with you, but let me talk to you about when the crime is committed by law enforcement, okay? We're gonna get into this Breonna Taylor situation. After the ruling in the case, in the grand jury case, where only one officer was indicted for wanton endangerment. Nancy, there was a lot of public outrage and pain from people who felt like victims and people who believe the grand jury didn't go far enough or had enough information. You have been in front of grand juries. Walk the DBL Nation and me through that and how you think that decision was made. It's a very pro-prosecutor situation. There's not even really a defense attorney there, am I right?
Well, of course there's not a defense attorney there because this is not a petit jury, which is a jury of 12 or in some jurisdictions 6. This is a grand jury because the size is grand. It's 30 to 40 or more people taken from the voter registration. So what they do is very simply determine, is there enough evidence to bring a charge to send to a petite or petit jury to determine guilt or innocence. So this is not the time for the defense to be heard. This is a bare bones hearing to say, is there enough evidence to try this case and let a jury decide? Or is there no evidence and we'll no-bill it, we'll kick it out? So don't blame the grand jury right off the bat.
But let's talk about that raid. Nancy, there's activists calling for no-knock warrants to be banned, unconstitutional, against the Fourth Amendment, right? And some local lawmakers are trying to make that a reality. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, first of all, they're not unconstitutional. Bam! There, I can drop the knife right there. Imagine this. Let's go with a 5-year-old little girl out on the playground. Mommy goes to the minivan to get a cold water, comes back, baby girl gone. Turns out she has been snatched by a child sex predator, a registered sex offender. He's immediately traced because of video surveillance there at the playground to his apartment where he's holed up with a 5-year-old girl. What do you think we should do? Have the cop go to the door and go, hello, we'd like to come in for a cup of tea and talk about this little girl we think you snatched. H-E-double-L, no. You yell police and you bust in there and save the girl. I'm telling you why we cannot do away with no-knock provisions. Now, did the cops in the Breonna Taylor function appropriately? I don't know that, but getting rid of the no-knock is absurd. That's throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So whoever's screaming that needs to go and read the law books and find out why we have no-knock provisions.
We're not done with Nancy Grace yet. Tomorrow, Nancy weighs in on the defund the police movement, plus what Nancy would have done differently in the courtroom in George Floyd's case.
When you commit a crime, whether you're wearing a badge or not, you have a date with Lady Justice and go in front of a jury.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
It's only...
Welcome back to DBL. They say clothes make the man, but for Mark Bryan, they don't make the gender. His skirt and heels combo are making him a huge hit on Instagram. Tori caught up with him earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
Mark Bryan, welcome to DBL. Thank you for taking the time. Do you mind just standing up and showing us your outfit right now of the day? What you're choosing to wear today? Let's see. Let's see. We got the manly black and then the ooh-hoo! Yes. When did skirts and heels become a staple in your daily wardrobe, and why?
I've been wearing heels for the long time.
Right.
I mean, for almost off and on for about 40 years. And then joking with my colleagues and stuff like that, you know, said eventually I'm going to wear a skirt. And tried on the skirt one time, and I go, wow, I don't look too bad.
And it's sort of become like a uniform, the skirt and the dress shirt combo. Is that significant to you, those two together? It's sort of like a superhero combo, or you just like the look of it aesthetically?
I don't know about superhero. It's just kind of my adapted style. I want to kind of, you know, maintain wearing men's shirts, but wearing women's skirts and heels, just to kind of keep what I call like a hybrid style. My big thing is to promote non-gendered clothing, and also that clothes should not dictate a person's sexual orientation.
Absolutely. Is it a statement? Is it empowering? Or do you just kind of engineering mind like the aesthetic and the lines that the clothes make for you?
I like the aesthetics and the lines. When I started wearing skirts and shoes, I just had so much different options to wear, and that's something I really enjoyed. I'm not a big fashion nerd, but
right.
it actually kind of broke the monotony that I've had over like the last 30 years.
What do your kids think of this?
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, everyone's been saying, you know, a father of three. I'm a father of three, but my kids are between the ages of like 41 and 33. You know, they haven't been at home for quite a while now. So my daughter's always, you know, she'll see me post a picture on Instagram or something, and you know she'll say, "Dad, I want to borrow your shoes." So
you do have some good shoes on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, you have some really good shoes.
Oh.
Now, a lot of women talking about heels think you're nuts for opting out to wear these uncomfortable heels all day. I wear Uggs constantly, which is super unattractive, as my husband says. What do you want to say directly to those who might object about the heels? Do you find them comfortable and sort of powerful? How do you feel?
I don't find them comfortable, but I've found that if I buy a good quality shoe and find a shoe that fits well, I'll go over comfort more than style. If I know I'm going to have to do a lot of walking during the day at work, I won't wear my 5-inch stilettos. I'll wear like a 3.5-inch or a 4-inch heel instead.
We do have to ask you, when we first featured your story on the show, Jeff, my co-host, he got a little jealous and competitive of your calves because you have fabulous calves.
That man is in shape and he looks good.
He looks dang good.
He looks good. He's got good legs. I don't like to brag, but I do have excellent
You really
calves.
do. I just wanted you to rate Jeff's calves from 1 to 10. Do you think he could rock the high heel and skirt?
Check that out.
Okay, you don't need to flex.
Well, I'm not. That's just how they look.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not wearing a skirt and high heels right now.
That's a fair comment. Totally fair comment. He looks great.
I mean, you know, he sits behind a desk all day. You know, he's TV above the waist. He could be underneath that desk right now wearing his skirt and high heels, and nobody would ever know.
I think he should show it off, and we completely agree. What a cool, awesome engineering mind you are, and I'm just so excited to have spoken to you. Thank you so much for chatting and stopping by and explaining things to people so people can understand and learn. We'll be right back. Thanks again.
Thank you.
that at DBL.
We get to tell it like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now. We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real. That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
And we have a great month of November for you, so do not miss a day. And if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Britney Spears makes another power play to take control of her life, and Michael J. Fox gets real about the darkest moment in his life. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Eric and Jeff. Miss Tori joining us from home. Let's get started, everybody. Michael J. Fox, well, we all love him. Well, he's opening up about what he calls the darkest moment in his life. So speaking to People magazine, the actor who has Parkinson's disease says he struggled to put on a shiny, happy face after he had surgery to remove a spinal tumor, and then he fell and broke his arm. He was alone and says while he was waiting for the ambulance, he felt like this is as low as it gets. So eventually, Michael realized that optimism is rooted in gratitude and acceptance and was able to move past the dark time. Michael also credits his wife of 32 years, Tracy, for that optimism. He says they laugh for a good 2 minutes about something every day. I love that. You know, this makes me think of you, Jeff, because you try to always focus on the positive. Clearly, we know Michael J. Fox has been through a lot, but speak to us about gratitude.
Well, I mean, I was thinking of Erica Cobb, funnily enough. I think we have the same philosophy about that. But, you know, Michael J. Fox is going through something that hopefully I don't even fathom in my lifetime. Not saying you know what I mean by that. But you have to find gratitude and optimism no matter what you're going through. But Michael J. Fox is an example of that. People struggle all the time. They go through terrible, terrible things, but you have to find gratitude. You have to find optimism. And for Michael J. Fox being in the condition that he is, to laugh with his wife and make that part of his day, which they met on Family Ties Throwback, great show, is what it's all about, right?
Yeah, I appreciate anytime we get the, true gift of hearing from Michael J. Fox, because he is such an icon. He is a legend. And he's also someone who has been very public about his struggles and bouts with disabilities. Parkinson's has completely taken over his life to the point that he's talked about the idea of losing his memory and not being able to remember the lines as much. So it's affecting his acting career as well in a greater capacity. The idea of gratitude is so important. And, Jeff and I talk about this a lot, because if you can't be grateful for what you have, you'll never be grateful for what you may get in the future. So I think that that's always a great exercise. And honestly, there's this thing on YouTube, I'm sure you've seen it, but it's Denzel Washington talking about as soon as you wake up in the morning, you should say exactly what you're grateful for, so you always remember to be grateful. And it works. It works, people. I'm just telling you.
I love it. And Tori, you've always, yesterday, Al and Jeff gave you some flack for your incredible Buddhism speak, I should say. But I think it's important because Buddhism, what you've taught me, Tori, is acceptance and ownership. And Michael J. Fox said the one thing that really helped him get through it besides gratitude was acceptance and ownership, meaning look what he's done for Parkinson's research. His foundation has raised nearly $1 billion to Parkinson's, to help benefit Parkinson's disease and the research that funds it. Tori, that's exactly what you were speaking to yesterday, that you were made fun of for.
Yeah, I think, and I was mocked. No, I think Michael J. Fox single-handedly is moving towards a Parkinson's cure more than any other human being ever has. It's unbelievable what he's done. But what I think he's understanding is, in life, it's okay to understand that things are gonna go bad. You are going to suffer at some point, because the more you push that away, when it hits, you're overwhelmed. So he seems to be accepting the suffering, laughing with the suffering, feeling grateful with the suffering, and my God, that's the way out of the hole. That's the way out of depression.
Amen. Okay, so Britney Spears is asking a judge to completely remove her dad as her legal co-conservator. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Britney claims her dad hired a new business manager without consulting her after her old one quit. Britney claims the new manager also has ties to her dad's legal team. She wants her current trust company to look after her finances and her dad to be completely out of the picture. Despite all her legal troubles, Britney recently posted this message to her fans on Instagram. Watch.
Hi, so I know that there have been a lot of comments and a lot of people saying a lot of different things about me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am fine. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm sending all of you guys a lot of prayers, wishes, and a lot of love.
Oh, I have so many feelings about this. The Free Britney movement has been a hashtag, Erica, as well, that has trended, people advocating for Britney Spears because she feels, her fan base feels that she's been taken advantage of by her father. Now, these are all allegations, but we know that conservatorship abuse does exist, and there have been many, many victims of this. Putting that aside, I hope Britney's well, because I'm just going to be honest here, and this is somebody that's also suffered from mental health issues. Every video she posts, she does not seem well to me.
I can understand that feeling, Sam. I feel like I've been talking about Britney Spears since, her early days in music, because coming from a radio background, that was my relationship with her career. I am really at a point, and have been since probably 2013, that it's almost too violating to even have this conversation with someone who clearly is struggling with so many things. Like, I don't find it entertaining. I find it incredibly, it's tragic. The whole thing is very tragic.
But may it be, I agree with you, but may it be educational, because a lot of people don't know that conservatorship abuse exists.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying this is the case in Britney Spears, but the more you unravel it, this is just my opinion only, it does seem like that's the case with Britney Spears. So if no one's going to advocate for her, thank God she has that Britney Spears movement, Free Britney, because this is somebody who, in my opinion, is suffering, and she needs all the help she can get. She does not want to be conservatorship free, I should say. She just does not want her father being the conservator, and she wants the current trust company to be her conservator.
Listen, I don't know what to say here, because like Erica said, I think it's a little deeper and darker than what we look at, like social media wise. I'm not saying her father is even the problem here. I don't even know if he's the problem. Is there something wrong with Britney? We're not clinicians. We don't know. I do know that when I look at it with my eyes and my wife shows me, like, look at Britney Spears, something's wrong. I don't see something in her eyes. And again, I could be totally off. I'm not a clinician, like I said, but something doesn't seem right there. So I don't know if the father's wrong here. I don't know if something, people need to keep an eye on Brittany, but it's not something that I'm laughing at or entertained by.
We wish Brittany all the best and just hope that she gets the justice that she is seeking. So given the current political climate, we could all definitely use a laugh, am I right? So Jimmy Kimmel invited some politicians to read mean tweets about themselves. Enjoy.
Bernie Sanders seems like the type of guy who'd return a single piece of fruit to Walmart and hold up the line for an hour. Well, not quite, but I do hope that the workers in Walmart can eventually earn a living wage with decent benefits.
Elizabeth Warren is what happens when Jan Brady grows up.
If Templeton the rat from Charlotte's Web had a successful rat cousin he hated for being an unctuous slime ball, it would be Ted Cruz.
Oh my gosh, Tori, what do you think of politicians poking fun at themselves?
Okay, so I've always thought this was the best thing that Obama did during his campaign. He did mean tweets, and it just made him so relatable. Whenever you can poke fun of yourself, why do you think I love it? Because it makes you relatable. Now, here's the one thing with President Trump. There isn't a ton of humor with him. He doesn't mock himself, and if he did, let's say, hit an appearance on SNL or read a mean tweet, there's be so much love for that, and sort of so much like now he sees it, but there just is a disconnect. So I love when Ted Cruz calls himself a rat because he knows it's funny and it's okay, and it just makes everybody more relatable.
Listen, if you want a good laugh, watch Larry David read mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel. He cracks up the whole time through it. I mean, I follow like Curb Your Enthusiasm on my Instagram, and it just makes me laugh. Like I go on social media, I'm like, I'm gonna regret this, and then I see like Larry David cracking his way up through a mean tweet, and then, I'm telling you, look it up, it'll put a smile on your face.
I want to see Bernie Sanders and Larry David.
That's what reminded me of it. When I saw Bernie, I'm like, Larry's the best.
So good. Coming up on DBL, surviving sex addiction. Jenna Kramer and Mike Cosson have been through hell and back in their marriage, but we ask them how they got through it next.
Welcome back to DBL. You know, Pat Benatar was on to something when she said, love is a battlefield. There might not be a couple that knows that better than Jana Kramer and Mike Cosson. Their relationship scandals have made headlines, but earlier they told me they're ready to use the bad for the good. Check it out.
She was a rising star in Hollywood and Nashville. He was a professional football player. When they met, their romance moved fast. From engagement to marriage to expecting their first child, all within a year. But with the highs came lows. A cheating scandal split the couple apart. But Jana returned to Mike's side when he later admitted to having a sex addiction. Now, the couple says they're stronger than ever with 2 kids and is passing on their learned life lessons to other couples in a new book, The Good Fight.
Welcome, Jana and Mike, to Daily Blast Live.
Hey.
Hey, Erica. Thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for being here. And we're going to jump right in because every couple has their own dirty laundry, but not every couple reveals theirs in a book. So what do you say to the people who believe relationship issues maybe should stay in the bedroom?
I mean, I definitely think, there's some truth to that. There's certain things that we don't tell our friends, but I also think being open and vulnerable with your friends is sometimes can really help a relationship. I know a lot of times couples that we've known and friends that we've had, like once they've expressed kind of their issues, it doesn't hold as much weight for them and they might have a better relationship. So I think sometimes sharing is actually a really healthy thing for the relationship.
You know, Mike, you've done more than just control the narrative. You've been very open about your addiction issues. And most of the time when someone is open about something like addiction that they're battling, people applaud them for their transparency because they're helping other people who might be going through it. But when we talk about sex addiction, many people are still coming around to the understanding that it is in fact a real addiction. So how do you deal with people who don't believe it's a real condition?
That's a great question. And it's unfortunate because I do feel that way at times where, if I was in AA or, in 12-step program for drugs or anything else, get a little bit more pat on the back and empathy and support in the fact that my addiction isn't socially accepted yet. And society is about 10 to 15 years behind, the ball on that. There's a lot more shame involved in it. And, I have my moments where I might feel uncomfortable in a moment because maybe someone's judging me a little bit more because they don't believe in sex addiction or think it's a married man's excuse and all of this. But you know what? It's my truth. It's the life that I live, and that's all that matters to me. And fortunately, over time, I've been able to get more comfortable with that. And I have an amazing wife that supports me. So that's really all that matters to me.
Okay, so let's dive more into the book. Now, you share the advice to, quote, claim your baggage. And sometimes that baggage is infidelity. So when a relationship is built on trust and that trust is broken, is it possible to fully trust that person again?
It's hard when you're living with an addict. Do I trust Michael today? Yeah, I do. He's showing up today as a husband. He's shown up as a father today. The problem with our relationship is like every time you start to trust, something would happen, and then it's just like you can never like hold on to anything. So now, if we get a couple good years in us where we feel like okay, like he's been straight and we've been good, then I can be like, okay, I can trust this a little bit more. But I think it just takes time, and it takes a lot of goodwill and a lot of love in the bank.
Well, I appreciate the love in the bank thing because really you're talking about your baggage and bringing it up in a relationship. And do you think that it's important that you have certain amounts of deposits of love in the bank before you start bringing up your baggage? Or do you think that it's something that should be brought up maybe before, all of those deposits are made?
Even when I met him, I was like, look, I've been married 2 times before. I have daddy issues. I've got this, I've got that. And I'm like, you kind of take it or you leave it. Like, I want a kid. I want to get married.
Right.
Like, maybe I was a little, but it worked in the beginning.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think it depends on what age you're at and level of maturity.
Right. Well, I mean, Jana, to be honest, I am a lot like you in terms of I just put it all out there. Like, listen, this is it. I'm remarried. I told my now husband that, listen, I'm a divorcee. I have these issues, blah, blah, blah. Like, basically, this is what it is. I was very transparent in the beginning. And, you know, I do believe that helped at least manage expectations of who we were and what we were both bringing to the table. Well, I thank you and Mike because I really do appreciate your honesty and transparency. I know that you are helping other people get through and make their relationships better. Their best-selling book, The Good Fight, is on bookstore shelves now. And if you need more Mike and Jana in your life, you can also check out their award-winning podcast, Wind Down. We will be right back.
Thanks, girl.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for some sweet, sweet deals. Earlier, Steph showed Tori some amazing deals at even better prices. So here is this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
We are together in the studio. Look at us. What do you have for us today, Steph? Right across from me.
So, Tori, I'm super excited to be back, but I'm here with some awesome products and deals that you guys are going to love. So, come with me. Ooh. If you like salon quality hair treatments, then this Sultra limited edition 2-inch professional blowout brush is exactly what you need. Look at this, it's amazing.
Ooh.
The unique design combines the powerful airflow of a dryer with the smoothing and volumizing benefits of a round brush, so it'll dry, smooth, and style your hair up to 50% faster than your normal routine. And the best bit is it comes with this technology that protects your hair from any heat damage. So that's awesome. So usually this is $150, which is pretty spenny, but we got it for $39, saving 74%.
Steph, that's fantastic. Also, it leaves me more time to eat my breakfast burrito in the morning because usually I'm doing this for an hour. So fabulous.
I know, I love it, right? Okay, next up, I've got something that will keep your skin looking flawless. So this is the L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Anti-Wrinkle and Firming 3-piece skincare set. So it includes firming and anti-wrinkle day cream, eye cream, and night cream.
Bravo.
So it's the perfect set for everyday use to combat aging. So you guys will see firmer skin in 4 weeks, and it reduces dark circles. It's dermatologist tested, fragrance-free, and suitable for sensitive skin. Very important. So normally this set is $54.
Expensive.
We've got it for $25, Tori, saving our viewers 54%.
Saving your skin and your wallet. What? That's really good. And that stuff works. I'm getting that. That's
Love it.
Amazing.
Tori, this one. I find keeping my fridge like really hard to keep it tidy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you do too.
Yeah.
But I do. So this is a 10-pack Heidi and Oak fridge mat that help me keep things a bit organized.
Okay.
So they're colourful, so you can put them in your refrigerator and help keep it clean from drips and messes. And they're non-slip, non-stick and lightweight, so they can even be cut to fit any size fridge or anywhere. Love that. So normally they're $40, but we've got them for $15, which means you're saving 62%.
That's and you get a 10-pack.
I like the pink one.
Of course you do. I love that you love that one.
And then last but not least, I've got something that's going to help you stay clean and disinfected in your home. So this is the Odyssey Mind and Body Motion Activated Sanitizer and Soap Dispenser.
I love that.
So, I mean, it's super sleek, let's be honest. It's very modern, and it's going to increase sanitation in your home, so I love it. It holds 17 ounces of your favorite soap, lotion, or sanitizer, and it's got this really funky stainless chrome finish, so it's going to look amazing in any kitchen or any bathroom. So normally this is $50, but we've got it, are you ready?
Yeah.
For $19, so 62%.
Oh, that is fantastic.
It's stealing, Tori, it's stealing.
Stainless steel, stealing that. And in coronavirus times, let's all be honest, that's all we need all over our kitchen and bathrooms. Oh, this is fabulous. I have 3 things I need to buy already. Okay, great. Head on over, everyone, to morningsave.com to snag all these amazing deals that Steph showed us at the lowest prices. Seriously, you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. It's easy. Steph, it is so good to see your face and to be in the studio with you. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tomorrow on DBL, reality TV power couple Dr. Terry and Heather Dubrow. Wait till you hear what she says about Real Housewife villain Kelly Dodd.
I need you, Heather, to weigh in on some of the recent Orange County housewife drama.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Janice says, count the votes. We're not going anywhere. Jan on Facebook says it's a sad shame America is in this situation. Those mail-in votes should have never happened. Only polls and absentees, as it has always been. Actually, mail-in voting has occurred in many states for many elections, and it is safe. It is not a thing, voter fraud. And then Marty, in my opinion, the Electoral College is antiquated. Well, we appreciate all of you. We appreciate you, Tori. DBL's new every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.